Hello, hello. Good evening. Thank you for the pet. Hello. I hope you're doing well. Where's my game sound? Why is there no game sound? Oh my god. Screams. There it is. It's because the song was over. Happy Pride. Yes. Happy Pride to these two. Because you're not supposed to see this screen the first time you're starting up the game. But the game apparently features cloud saving. So because I have completed this game to 100% before, we get to see the screen. Congratulations. I just spoiled everyone on who the end game is. God damn it. But yeah, welcome in. Hope you're all doing well. It is once again Thursday. I have a question. Should I, because I once again turned off the cursor because like it's a visual novel, I don't think we really need to see the cursor, but on the other hand, I'm so happy to have this tiny nugget just on the screen all the time. I think I'm gonna turn it back on. Let me have the tiny Nuo on screen. Look at this. I think I'm gonna keep it there. Worst case, I just put it here. So but yeah, welcome into another new game. Oh my god, nope, never mind. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put my feet on my computer like I always do, but it's a little too hot for that, so we're not gonna do a boot machine. This is good evening. This is the second Flowers game. It has been a while since we played the first Flowers, because when did I play the first Flowers? Hold on. When did I play the first Flowers? Let's go! Yeah, let's go! First Flowers was the one set in spring, which we did not play during spring. And then was like, haha, I'll just play all of them while it's not the actual season that they take place in, but now it is summer and we're playing summer, so whatever. I miss these girls. They're very good. They're very, very good, very sweet. I love them a lot, so we're back here. I think the game gives us a small recollection of who everyone is, kind of, to an extent, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But not by going into the gallery, because I would spoil every single city, but just for a little overview. Our main character, you're currently reading Witch on Holy and a Blazing Hot June, where the game takes place in cold December. Maybe at least that way it'll make it feel like you're actually not as hot. It rained for like a few minutes just now, so I could finally open up my windows to really let some air, and I was like, maybe I could keep them open for the stream as well, but there's once again people outside who are talking very loud, and I do not know if that gets picked up by the microphone. I'm not risking it. So we're back to closed windows, and the rain already stopped as well, but at least small reprieve from the blazing hot sun. But yeah, for anyone who wasn't there for the first Flowers, a small overview. Our main protagonist in the first Flowers game is this girl here, Sue. This entire game takes place in a Catholic boarding school, basically. It is set in Japan, but also it's Catholic, so it's a little Some character, not every single character in this game is religious by any means, or not Catholic, but they're still in the school, so Catholic girls love to be gay. Exactly, like that's the best place to have a game like this take place. In a Catholic school, you have a bunch of girls being gay. Like that is exactly how it goes. But our main character in the first game was Sue here. Sue is a little introverted. Sue has a stepmom who gave her quite a bit of trauma when it comes to, you know, playing the piano for one, and also some other stuff. She's not very outspoken, but she did grow a lot during the first game. This is one of her roommates, Rika. Also, do not worry. Why the fuck is Sue up there? It's because I tested the volume earlier, and you cannot fucking hear her unless she's at the absolute max, because her voice is so little. Such a small voice. You can't fucking hear her. This is one of her roommates. The other roommate is not here because that's the entire plot of the first game. The entire plot of the first game is first she falls for her, but she falls for the other roommate, and then then she blackmails her into dating, and then she's like, and then she ends up dating the other roommate, who's not here anymore because the other roommate like vanishes at the end of that school term, and now Sue is mega ultra depressed. That's where we're starting at with this game. With this entry, and this one features Erika up here as the main protagonist. Erika is gets how do I say this? Erika is a little mean, like not a little bit like a tsundere kind of mean. Basically, she just says outright what she thinks most of the time. So others are like, oh. But I love her a lot. She's a lovely character. This is gonna take away from the very beginning of the game, but this is going to be Erika's new roommate, who's new to the school, new character. This here, Ninina and Yuzuriya are both in the school committee thingy. They're seniors. They're also most definitely gay, but that's for another game. And these two down here are the twins. Ichigo and Ningo, who also get to take a bigger role, who have a even bigger role in the third game, but that's not for now. And this here is our favorite teacher, Dahlia Bas. Yeah, whose last name I always butcher. I'm so sorry. She is a nun, I think. Yeah. Okay. I'll just say it like it is. We have two different two routes, and then also like a true end if you play through the game again. The thing is, apparently this game features cloud saving. I only found out like a few minutes ago when I reinstalled the game. I have played through this game already before, some time ago. So fine, look at this. These are all of my saves from 2018. Which means this game remembers that I've played it before. Which means we can get the true ending on our first playthrough because, you know, the game thinks it's my third playthrough, basically. Which is what we're going to do. Which also means that my phone just informed me that the weather warning is no longer in place. After like 5 minutes of rain. Wow, okay. Which also means we will only get to see the true route featuring her here. There is a second route which does not... Like, it's not true in the sense that, because the game continues, that's the canon thing that takes place, where you try to romance Dahlia. I'm not gonna play through that route. I'll say it like it is. Because it was already very awkward trying to get through both Rika, like in the first games, to get to both Rika's and I forgot her name. This is very fucking bad. The true route in the first game, so this time around, we're only going to do the true route. We're only going to focus on getting the true end, the canon end to this game. I like that they put the audio balancing into my hands though, because some of these characters you can, like Sue, you can barely hear, and then the twins are okay. That's nice. I would like to have them at all around the same level so you can actually hear them on stream. Because Sue, last time I had to put up Sue more and high and everyone down, so this is good. I have not actually played Kara no Shoujo, so I do not know how how different that is. But yeah, just as a disclaimer up front, we're only gonna do the true route, which is still gonna be quite a lot, not gonna lie. Yeah, let's get started. Also, I hope volume is yeah, start from the beginning. I'm not skipping the prologue. We're gonna pretend this is my first time. I'm gonna pretend this is my first time playing.
そして強烈な嫉妬だった。舞台の上で演じられる眠れる森の美女。彼女の演じるオーロラ姫は情熱を持ってターンを繰り返し、情欲を煽るかのようにその手を優美に突き出し踊った。なぜこんなにも胸が締め付けられるのだろう。彼女の踊るオーロラ姫、そのフェッテ・アントルナを見て、自分の動かない足を恨めしいと思うのだろう。まるで羽が生えているような演技を見せつけられ、私は胸の内に尊敬にも似た畏怖の念すら抱いていることに気づく。いつしか自分の腕で体を抱きしめ、震えを抑えていることに。ああ、そして激しい嫉妬の裏側に確かな情愛を抱いていることも。私はつぶやかずにはいられない。願わくば、願わくば、私もあの舞台で共に。
A hero can be anyone, even a man doing something as simple and reassuring as putting a coat on a young boy's shoulders, and the text being too fast for me to realize that I had to read it faster. Also, friendly reminder, Erika is voiced by the same girl, woman, lady, voice actor who voiced Elena when we played Tokyo Mirage sessions. But this one, in this one, she's not as... So we're not gonna hear the word Hollywood as often, so that's nice. Oh, you might be a little hard of hearing due to surrounding noise, but you are around. That is okay. Thank you for coming by. Suddenly. Oh, that's the wrong button. Good to... Suddenly, I cannot use my cursor to advance text. Oh, God. Thought I could play this on controller. Oh. Wait, no, maybe I can. Suddenly a line from The Dark Knight Rises comes to mind. I can play with controller, never mind. I win. But it's because I've been thinking precisely the opposite. Never mind. Outside the window, the verdant trees are bathed in sunlight. Even though it's the end of the school day, I still have to narrow my eyes against the sun's strong rays. Squinting, I can just make out the chapel in the distance. It really is a magnificent chapel. It just oozes history. Well, of course, this is a distinguished missionary school built in 1870. I feel like you can still not hear it. I mean, to be fair, maybe I'm not sure how good all of this stuff sells, you know? Because, like, I like them. I like them, but also I am definitely the type of person to buy these kinds of things way more easily than the average market. Maybe there's stuff that doesn't sell as well as they were hoping. The school surrounded by dense forest and high walls, I move my gaze from the window to the ceiling of the hallway, wondering how long has passed now since I arrived.
まだ3ヶ月ほどしか経ってないのか。
I'm gonna fucking lose it. Sorry. Every time that I think, oh, I have all of my settings nice and well and you can hear everything, this game once again is like, haha, fuck you.
生命判断の
Because
結果が
this
出
is
た
so
わけだ
fucking
が、
loud. What do you mean?
ま、別にこんなのは大した問題じゃないからいいか。ただ努力家っ
I
ての
just
は
know
あ
I'm
んま
gonna
り
be
ピンと
back
こ
on
な
the
い
screen
な。
in a second. I just
健康
know
にと
it.
っては笑えるぞ。あと人間関係が基地っていうのもな。
Anger. Anger. It feels like I've been boarding here for ages, having transferred in partway through the term, but not that much time has actually passed. I'm quite surprised.
成果からこの学院にぶち込まれて。
Well, with my lags, I haven't been able to attend classroom lessons. Taking the loudest part of the voice lines to test. They really are! It's like she's just talking to herself. Back then I played a little prank while returning some books I borrowed from the library.
それを解き明かしたのがあいつだった。
My bookworm body, the face of our little library sprite, floats before my eyes. Speaking of figuring things out, I'm reminded of the 7 mysteries she told me about, another instance of her playing detective.
七不思議血まみれメアリーの話。あれは最高に笑えたな。
Because now it's too loud. Is it just me? Because now I think it's too loud. Oh my god. The whole situation had been so laughable, the phrase much ado about nothing springs to mind. My bookworm body was always getting herself mixed up in these sorts of things. Right, I'd also lent a hand when she was assailed by the weird student president. And I'd helped investigate the truth behind the Yatsushiro incident, which had been quite unbefitting of this peaceful academy. The result of my investigations...
これも笑えたが。
I smile to myself and look up at the ceiling as I think back on our efforts to resolve that incident. My bookworm body had been deadly serious, and our class president had earnestly offered forward her own ridiculous deduction, and the other. She says. I click my tongue as my thoughts turn to our classmate who disappeared with the spring. She left without giving a second thought to the feelings of those she left behind. I don't particularly care myself, but for her...
さっさと向かうか。
Just picturing her irritated expression is making me feel the heat even more. I put my hands to the rims of my wheelchair and push it forward. The rubber tires squeak as I make my way down the corridor. On my lap is the book I borrowed from the library, and the pressure of it on my thighs through my skirt is making me sweat.
電気なんざ借りるんじゃなかったな。
You should have. Someone who believes that life is just a matter of killing time, I'd always vowed that biographies, written records of the time wasting, were the one thing I'd never read, but my bookworm body had recommended it so fervently I'd inadvertently found myself borrowing and reading it. It was a non-fiction title by Mikhail Gilmore. It turned out to be quite a disturbing tale, and as I read it, I wondered at how one family could suffer such bad luck until, by the end, I had passed beyond pity to a state of amazement.
あいつもいい趣味しているよな。
She may look like a graceful young maiden, but she recommends the most shocking books. Although maybe she's just a voracious reader. When it comes to books other than biographies, I'm the same. Before I know it, I've arrived before the library. Since I'm reclining back in my wheelchair, I lean forward and put my hand to the doorknob. Swoosh. A window must be open somewhere, as when I open the door, it creates a draft and my hair flutters in the breeze. It feels good. It smells like dust and damp and years passing, my favorite smell. I close the door behind me and go over to the desk to return the book I'd borrowed. At first I hadn't noticed her, but... Ooh, a metronome. I said that I found my bookworm body staring fixedly at a metronome as though it's her first time seeing the inner workings of a clock.
白羽巣を。
She stares at the device despondently, looking like she's just now realized the truth behind things. I murmur her name to myself and quietly move my wheelchair over to her. With a swoosh, the breeze blows through the room again, ruffling her beautiful long hair. Her skin is so pale it's almost translucent, and the melancholic cast of her pretty delicate features only serves to heighten its impact.
誰かが図書室の妖精と言ったのも
The words had been half in jest, but seeing her like this, she really does have an otherworldly beauty to her. Like she stepped from the pages of a fairy tale into real life.
私も髪を伸ばしてみるか
Oh! This thought strikes me as her long black hair sways in the breeze. I've never been jealous of another girl's looks, but the sight of Shirahana's hair almost elicits a sigh from my lips. Her fine and glossy black hair is a true symbol of femininity. Imagining myself with long hair, I have the crazy idea that my own naturally unruly hair would have me looking like Medusa from the Greek legends, and I shake my head with a wry smile.
あら、エリカさん
Oh my god, your voice is actually loud! Holy shit! My movements cause my wheelchair to squeak, and Shirahana blinks as though waking from a dream, then forces a smile.
遊びに来てくれたのそっちの名前で呼ぶのはやめてくれ呼ばれ慣れてないんだ
She giggles slightly.
八重垣さん
My name is Erika Yaegaki, the name that this girl figured out. I addressed Shirahana's questioning look.
勧められていた伝記だよ読み終わったから返しに来たんだあら早いわねどう面白かった
She asked me this with a forced smile that banishes her previous gloomy expression like it was never even there. I placed the book on top of the desk.
夢中で読んだからなまあ面白かったんじゃねえのあでも次は鬱にならない冒険活劇が読みたい気分だ
That's so valid. I'm so bad with non-fiction books, actually. There's like 2 non-fiction books I read last year, and not a single non-fiction book that I've tried reading this year. It's not for me.
冒険活劇シェイクスピアはどうかしらリア王はおすすめよそっちも悲劇メインじゃないかよ
I parry Shirahana's rare joke, and she covers her mouth with her hand as she laughs daintily.
しかも四大悲劇の一つを勧めるなよな
I find myself spellbound by the sight of Shirahana's silky black hair swishing over her shoulder as she smiles. My eyes are following its flow when...
あ、肩にホコリでもついていた
Oh, is that the third part? The thing they announced? That's the thing! I mean, I have not played Kara no Shoujo, so I was just like, oh, okay, we're getting another thing? Happy, but I don't know what that means. She asks me.
いや、いつもながら長い髪だなってさ。梅雨もようやく明けてもう夏だろ。首周り熱くないのかよ。そうね。でも夏服になったから。
Where's the difference between this uniform and the one you were wearing in the first game? What the hell? She rubs her upper arms now bare and smiles melancholically. Seeing Shirahana in a summer uniform and wearing that unnatural smile, I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the sorrow of times passing. The anguish of those empty days that had passed since she disappeared. Of the amitié partner who should be there, here with us right now.
いや、柄じゃないよな。
Oh, shorter sleeves! Right! That is different.
自分らしくない真似をしちまうところだった。どうもお前と一緒にいると調子が狂っちまう
Missing part of trilogy. Oh, okay. One day.
それってどういう言葉通りの意味だよ。とりあえずめぼしい本でも見つけるかね。
I stop Shirahana as she starts toward the bookshelves.
適当に自分で探すよ。お前のおすすめは次の機会にするさ。
I bite back the words of consolation that had risen in my throat and wheeled myself over to the modern fiction shelves. When I open the window in my room, the rays of the evening sun filter in, along with the air outside, which is finally starting to cool.
暑くはあるが、湿気が少ないのが救いだな。
Perhaps because the academy is situated in a forest, the heat is dry and the humidity low. After a while spent gazing out through the open window at the vermilion sky, I notice that my hot bedroom is also beginning to cool. Now then, what to do?
風呂の時間ももう少し後だしな。
Checking the clock, I see that it's still a while before Sister Basquiat comes to help me bathe. So...
借りてきた本でも読むか。
I have some free time to read! But glancing at the book I've tossed on my bed, the memory of the biography I've just read lingers in my mind. I want to leave it a little longer before starting something new. As I'm gazing at the cover, all of a sudden, I hear something that sounds like a faint scream. One nail scratching at a chalkboard. I turn my wheelchair in the direction the noise is coming from, somewhere beyond the open window. It's someone singing, but you can barely hear it. Wait, it's a voice.
合唱部が歌っているのか。
Straining my ears, I realize that it's actually the sound of someone singing. It's quiet, like a radio turned down low, and yet the voice reverberates in my ears and in my heart. Is it because the melody is so sad?
いや、さすがに合唱部じゃないよな。
In summer, my window is open whenever I'm in my room. I've never heard singing before, though.
ここまで届くってのはおかしい。
I whispered and smiled to myself, the grin that my bookworm buddy would call my cat smile. The good thing about her being the main character is, hopefully, that we're not gonna get as many cat-like blah 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 thingies, because she's not going to describe herself cat-like. I hope.
時間を潰しがてら見物にでも行ってみるか。
Guided by my ears, I put my hands to the handrims of my chair and head off to catch a glimpse of the owner of the voice. Somehow, as I push my wheelchair along in pursuit of that melody, I start to develop a strange feeling inside. The voice is faint but clear, sad and yet sweet, and I find myself stopping to listen. But this voice, it reminds me of my bookworm buddy's amitié partner who disappeared in the spring, Mayuri Kosaka. She performed the solo of the Tota Pulchres at the Feast of the Assumption. Her voice had an otherworldly quality to it, a real sense of power. I don't know why she disappeared, and I don't particularly want to. But for her,
どうにもいけないな。
all photos are around the same time. Like, they are. I don't remember how many streams the first game took me. Quite a bit, I think. There's quite a lot of text in it that I have to read myself. I shake my head and hurry on toward the voice. It seems to be coming from behind the dormitory building. There's nothing special compared to the magnificent row of cherry trees leading up from the school gate, but there are a few trees behind the dormitory too, and it's there.
この声。いや、まさかな。
The voice leads me on, and suddenly there before my eyes,
深く眠る茨の棘に囲まれてる私
is Mayuri Kosaka. It's not. The girl sings on, illuminated by the blood-red light of the dying sun. The length of her hair, her stature, her very aura, it's all the same. No. I'd call Shirahana otherworldly, but this girl is just as beautiful. I feel like I'm watching a scene from a movie. Is she older than me? Her mature face is perfectly shaped like a doll's.
桜に住む魔物
A line from a book I once read comes to mind. A being not of this world. A voice that squeezes at the heart. But there's no expression on the girl's face. Is it just that I can't read her emotions? It's as though she's singing simply out of duty. It feels mournful. For some reason, there's something sinister about the magnificent spectacle. The sound of a fallen twig cracking under the wheel of my chair resounds in the still air, and the girl stops singing.
Thank you for the binary. Good evening.
She then turns toward me slowly, as though coming back to reality.
誰
That's what I like to know. Who the fuck are you? And thank you for the pet. She asks me this in a sharp voice, quite opposite in tone to her singing.
私はここの生徒だよ。人に尋ねる前に自分から名乗るのが礼儀だぞ。
The girl stares back at me intently, as though trying to peer into my soul. After getting a sense of her demeanor from her voice and after seeing those eyes of hers, I'd automatically spoken quite harshly.
そう。盗み聞きをしていたのね。
You were singing out in the open, what the fuck do you mean? She doesn't answer my question and continues staring at me like I'm a piece of dirt on the sole of her shoe.
嫌な目つきだ。
I speak her annoyance. It reminds me of how I used to be, and it makes me feel strange.
勝手に聞こえてきたんだよ。ここは私の帰り道だ。それより私の質問が聞こえなかったのか
The girl looks over to where her things are leaning against the trunk of the cherry tree as though she hasn't heard me at all.
おい、初日から嫌な気分にさせられるわね。この学院は優秀な者が集まると聞いていたのだけど。
Instant Grey and Type Moon love the westernized houses mentioned as trade schools. I mean, I get it. Aren't you always obsessed with the exact thing that you don't have at home? Mutterings reach my ears clearly, and I find myself getting even more pissed off than usual.
自分が優秀な人間気取りか。盗み聞きだと見下げているようだがな。言っておくが、はっきり言って大した歌じゃなかったぜ。
Something like emotion finally crosses her face at my response, I much prefer to the mask she'd been wearing before. But she quickly banishes it and bends down to retrieve her bag.
どうした？無視かよ。程度の低い相手とは話さないようにしているの。
I can't help but grin at this outright rudeness.
決めつけか。OJ シンプソンを有罪だと言い切るタイプだな。ここへは恨まれて逃げてきたのかい？
A distinct flash of emotion lights up her eyes at that, an irritation in her doll-like features that she makes no effort to hide. Then she slowly looks me over from my eyes to my face, my body, my wheelchair, and my useless legs.
あなたは卑怯者ね。
She says this right into my ear. And that baby, she continues. I spin around in anger, but she's already stalking off. She doesn't spare me a backward glance. The silhouette is swallowed up by the twilight.
悪かったな、高坂。
I murmur aloud to my friend who disappeared with the spring.
あいつと比べたら、お前は成人だよ。
Ah, that sure is one way to introduce a new character. Oh. Please don't die on me. No, there's just sound. Okay.
グリム童話にカエルの王様と呼ばれる一編がある。日本ではカエルの王子様として知られる物語だ。
It's a good one, I like it.
王女が感謝の印としてカエルにキスをして魔法使いの呪いが解け、カエルは人の姿に戻り王女と結ばれるというもの。しかし本来の話の筋は知られている
In the original
物語
version, she threw him against the
優
wall
しくは
first
ない。
when he asked for that kiss.
王女が泉に金のマリを落とし、カエルは友達になってくれるのなら拾ってこようと申し出る。王女はその条件を飲むも、カエルと友人になろうとせず、城へと去ってしまう。これから始まる物語は、去った者を待つ哀れなカエルのお話。
Chapter 1. Der Froschkönig oder der eiserne Heinrich. You're telling me you can write the E with the funny little thing above it because it's French, but you cannot write in König? I, for one, can certainly understand how he'd feel. A sea of curious eyes are staring at me. I turn classes rarely, but for once I've deigned to show my face in the classroom.
まあ、自分の席が一瞬どこだかわからないくらいには来てなかったもんな。
I mean, to be fair, this classroom, the way it's like the way all of those desks are, I don't think she could even fit through the rows with her wheelchair. That's not very accessible. When I arrive at my own seat, I flop face down on the desk. I feel like a panda in a zoo. As the rebel continues staring at me, the door to the classroom opens and someone rushes over with a grin.
ごきげんよ。珍しいわね。教室で八重垣さんを見るなんて。
Hi! It's Dika Hanabishi, our straight-laced class president. She greets me with the most charming smile.
それでどうしたの？何か困ったことでもあったの？
She's also quite the busybody.
別に相談するために来たんじゃないっての。ただバスキア教諭から顔を見せろって頼まれてさ。
マリア先生から？
ああ、無視してもいいんだが、バスキア教諭には世話になってるからな。
The president's eyes widen behind her glasses.
なんだよ。
The whole thing that she
お
does a
茶
lot
会に
for
も
you.
来てくれたのよね。
Wah. No, I didn't actually skip anything. Sometimes once we're close to the end of the game, I'll finally have it. She's hinting at something.
他人に興味を抱かない私が意外だなって思ったってことか。どこかの会長じゃないが、義理が廃ればこの世は闇よってやつだよ。世話になってりゃ別だ。
Actually, one more thing, sorry. Oh, no, that makes it even more transparent. I would like to actually be able to read the text. Oh my god! Okay, yeah, that's good. You pay kindness in turn, that's what my middle sister said, albeit pretty sourly. I didn't get the idea from her, but I feel the same way.
そうね。
I'm a bit disconcerted by the president's demeanor as she smiles and shakes her braids. I know that she has good intentions, but I don't deal well with these sorts of sentiments.
さて、どうしたものかね。
The press hasn't even gone to put her back on her desk. She's obviously still got more to say. Seems like she intends to spend the time before morning prayers chatting with me.
読みかけの小説でも出せばさして。
Just as I'm thinking this...
八重垣ちゃんだ
Just as I'm thinking this, obviously the twins are loud. Because the twins are always loud. Why did I not expect that? Should have expected that. Ah. A lively voice reverberates through the room and I feel even more vexed. The twins, who are tiny even for first-year students, make a beeline for me.
どうしたの？教室に八重垣ちゃんがいるなんて変だよ。
The one with 2 beauty spots in her hair tied up is Ichigo, the elder of the two.
珍しい光景ですね。
The one with a single beauty spot and her hair down is the younger sister, Ringo. It's so easy to get them jumbled up. I remember how the near-identical sisters themselves explained how to tell them apart.
お前ら大概失礼だよな。
I say.
だって珍しいじゃん。それは私も思うけどね。でも気の弱いやつなら教室から回れ右するような言い方だぞ。
Good thing you're not timid.
そうかな。いちご姉は勢いで話す癖があるから気をつけないと。
Now look at him so far. This is very, we're getting to know all of the characters again so far. Hey, you were treating me like a zoo animal yourself.
ごきげんよう。
But it's nice. I like it. As I'm quipping to myself, I hear a clear voice from somewhere above me. It's a familiar voice, and it belongs to exactly the kind of person who would do an about turn at the twins' words.
おお、ずいぶん遅い投稿じゃないか。図書室に寄ってから来たの。
You can actually hear her this time around. I'm so happy. She puts her hand to her chest and smiles. She must have been rushing. Thankfully, she's not the type to ask annoying questions.
で、どうして八重垣ちゃん教室にいるの？
Attending class! I'd like these two to take a leave out of Shirahana's book. I know.
少しからかってやるかな。
I came to say goodbye. Deciding to play a little trick on the twins who are peering at me with great curiosity, I heave an exaggerated sigh.
あれあれ、本当に深刻な問題だったり？
Most of the time, I think with the help of 3D objects.
普段教室に顔を見せない私がいるってことは相応の訳があるのさ。実は
A twin skull. Hey, they're pretty cute up close.
今日でこの学院を去るんだよ。
Good background artist, yeah. Real life models? I don't even. I mean, you can. There's lots of 3D. There's lots of 3D programs nowadays. And as soon as you have it in the 3D, you could sketch over it. As long as you finish like one proper desk in the angle that you wanted, you could also just copy it a few more times. Because, I mean, come on. This row is just the same thing over and over. It's just that there's a little difference here in how the light is falls in. But this is definitely the same fucking desk over and over and over and over. Summer Pockets plays IRL. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bad joke to play, not gonna lie. Cell shaded thing. No, I mean, I still think this is very much like hand-drawn, but with the help of some. No, there's 3 of them. Yeah, there's quite a few characters in this. I still think it's hand-drawn though. There was a bigger reaction than I'd expected. The class president, who already knows why I'm here, narrows her eyes in exasperation, but Shirahane appears to be in a state of bright shock for some reason.
そんな私的にまだお部屋にも遊びに行っていないのに誘ってないからな寂しくなる
The two of them look genuinely upset, which is a bit of a surprise. Their eyes are welling up with tears, even though we've only known each other for 3 months at best.
八重垣ちゃん
A small hand covers mine, small, warm, and perfectly cute.
私お手紙書くからね忘れない
She stared at me with the utmost seriousness.
これ以上は悪趣味になるわよ、八重垣さん。
ああ、そうだな
I place my other hand on top of hers. Just kidding, I tell them with a grin. Letting the protest roll off my back, I tell Shirahane how Sister Basquiat had requested that I come to class today. She puts her hand to her chin.
八重垣さんを呼ぶだなんて
It's
何
because
か
you're
特
getting
別
a
な理由があるの
new
かしら
classmate. She lapses into thought. She always seeks an answer right away for even the smallest things. Well, I suppose that's the interesting thing about her.
まあさっさと義理を果たして部屋のベッドに転がりたいよいつもなら寝てる時間なんだぞ今は
それはダメよ。生活習慣は正しくするべきだわ。
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Rika. The president makes an earnest point in response to my banter, but I brush it off dismissively. I catch a whiff of a sweet, fresh scent as she leans forward.
こいつも笑ってればかなりの美形なんだけどな
Putting your left ring. Well, no matter how it was made, it looks nice. It's a very nice classroom set. That uptight look of hers cuts her attractiveness in half, although maybe some people are into that kind of thing. You're posting a link?
ごきげんよう。
Looking for permission?
はい、皆さん、席についてくださいね。
What kind of link is it? Hopefully not the one that says, "Huh? Yeah." Permission granted. Permission hereby granted. Please post the link. Okay, hold on. What is that? What is happening on that? I feel her. Yeah. I feel her. Like that ain't drawn. Yeah. At that kindly yet somewhat airheaded voice, we all take our seats. I lift my head from where it had been resting on my desk and languidly look over at the owner of the voice. She's as beautiful as ever. She comes to help me every day thanks to my legs, and I think the same thing each time. Papa's eyes, framed by her slender features, lustrous shining hair like fine silk.
まあ比べるだけ無駄って分かっちゃいるが
Her figure is voluptuous and womanly, quite a rarity here at the academy. Honestly, I'm pretty jealous. A sigh escapes my lips as I think of my own messy hair and scrawny body.
あら、 八重垣さん、ちゃんと来ていますね。
Sure
嬉しい
am.
わ。
どうも。
She addresses me like a child and I raise my hand slightly in response. I hear a suppressed giggle and suddenly feel embarrassed.
今日は皆さんへ素晴らしいお知らせがあるの。なので、
Slightly downturned, honey-colored eyes are fixed on me.
八重垣さんにも教室に来ていただいたの。
ダリア先生、お知らせって何ですか？
そうね。待たせてしまっても悪いから入ってきてもらいましょう。
Sister Basquiat calls out through the door, though there's no immediate answer. Then the door opens and the people she'd been keeping waiting enter the classroom.
もしかしてこれって、だと思う。
To be honest, I had a hunch about what was going on from the way she'd led into it. From the moment Sister Basquiat said she had some wonderful news. However,
あいつ。
it's a bunch of new classmates! This shapes is clear something's not that difficult. Well, I'm curious as to the high number of transfer students. My eyes are fixed on just one of them.
あの女。
The one with the extraordinarily haughty expression, like every little thing she encounters is an annoyance.
さあ皆さん、旧友の方々へお名前を教えてあげなさい。
And all the other ones who don't even get names that we're never gonna see again because they're not important to the plot in any way. Serious-looking transfer students do as they're told and introduce themselves to us one by one. Then lastly, it's the turn of the girl with those horrible eyes.
転入生の高崎千鳥です。よろしく。
He throws this out coolly. Her haughty attitude reminds me of our encounter under the cherry tree. Sister Basquiat urges her to perhaps say a few words more, but
特にありません。
she shuts it down. This girl...
大人びた顔つきだから上級生だと思ってたが、ダメだったのかよ。だったらもっと煽ってやれよかったぜ。
Perhaps having overheard my mutterings, the student in front of me looks back in surprise and stares at me. I ignore her and glare at Chidori Takasaki.
そうね。私からお話ししようかしら。高崎さんはお仕事のご都合でバレエと歌がとても上手だそうなのよ。
To be fair though, like this greenish type of hair we've had on quite a few characters. I do appreciate that while they all have most of them have like dark hair, they did go for different ways to showcase it. Like Sue's black hair is black, like not even a stylized blue black, but just black. And then even Erika's hair is, while it is dark, it has some kind of green in it. It's nice. It's very nice and not just like all the same shade. Everyone is intrigued by her use of the word work. The bus studs up across the classroom and then our president raises her hand slightly.
ダリア先生、お仕事というのは？
Like, even Rika has a very green color to it. But to be fair, like, there's no full-on black anywhere in this game. Like, this is also not black. I do not know how to describe this color, but it's not completely black, that's for sure. Delicate mixed parents, oh yeah, very high chance. She wouldn't be the first character in the series. She asks a question that's on everyone's mind.
そうね。
She claps her hands together as though it's only just occurred to her.
話すのを忘れていましたが、高崎さんは芸能のお仕事をされていたそうなの。だから知っている人もいるのではないかしら。
Anna! Hi, Ari. Good evening. My classmates seem very interested to learn that one of the new transfer students is a celebrity. As for me,
芸能人はやっぱり性格悪いんだな。
at least that's the impression I get. A two-faced bunch.
ああ、高崎千鳥。
99% gray, 1 point green. Yeah. But see, this has more of blue in it than her hair. Her hair is definitely more like a warm green. And then this is a blue to it. You're not even kidding, you color printed. Alright. Yeah, even I hope you're smiling. It's getting better. Yeah, it's finally starting to cool down a little bit, so that's nice. I have my window on kip to get some fresh air.
Hello, good evening.
有名人なの？歌番組とかで見たことあるよ。
Those words add fuel to the fire and the buzz grows louder with more and more of the students turning their fervent gazes on the girl. This Chidori Takasaki. Incredibly green black hair makes you question which hair color it actually is. Most of the time, it's still just a stylized black. It's still just a stylized black. It's very rarely it's actually green. Because if they want it to be green... I think the only character I know off the top of my head that looks like it's a stylized green, but I think is actual green would be... What's her fucking name? I forgot her name. The one Sailor Moon character from the Outer Senshi. Jesus, 1 second. Sailor... It's not... Sailor Moon, Outer Senshi. What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? I don't know. I forgot. Pluto! No, Pluto's hair is black in the manga, I guess. Oh, you know what? Forget it. Styleless black. I don't care. Good eve, esteemed Noah. I'm good. I'm finally not melting anymore because the weather is unbearable. How are you doing? Then the questions start to fly like arrows. Are you enrolling here properly, not just temporarily? Will you keep performing? Can I get your autograph? And in response to all of these questions, the same answer.
この学院は気に入りました？
Unbearable.
わからないわ。
Huh?
そう。
Class president's taken aback expression mirrors that of the rest of the class. How do you say, I don't know, to can I get your autograph? Also, thank you for saying, you know what? We're gonna use the last page to say. She just arrived, bro, come on. But how do you say, I don't know, when someone asks for your autograph? Huh? Somehow Takasaki shuts everything down with a short, I don't know, in response to the president's question.
こいつ、白羽以上に人付き合いに。
Still melting his body raining yesterday? Ooh. Good luck to you. Please with hair color sometimes. Yeah! What hair color is this? Wrong! No, it's more like she doesn't have any intention of making friends with anyone in the first place.
そこだけは気が合っているみたいだが。
It's an unoffensive way of telling someone to fuck off. The way she's saying it seems very offensive, though.
質問はもうないよね。
It seems that everyone has realized that there's something strange about this Chidori Takasaki. The buzz died down and a strange hush has descended over the room. Like a bunch of idiots have got carried away with themselves and spoiled things for everyone.
それでは皆さん、新しい転入生の皆さんと仲良くしてあげてくださいね。
There's a chorus of agreement.
それと転入生たちのアミティエですが。
Is this a mystery? Is there gonna be a murder? What? It is a mystery to an extent, but there's no murders. Mostly it's just gay girls in Catholic school who don't properly know how to express that feeling. That's the best kind of Yuri you can get. Desperate longing and people being too clumsy to try and talk to each other. At these words, everyone's expressions change, especially those of the Sasaki twins.
あいつらはアミティエが辞めているからな。
Thinking about it logically, they'll probably have the new students fill in for those who have left. As I'm wondering about this.
彼女たちは昨日アミティエ選考試験を受けてもらっています。
Yeah.
そこで
She looks around at everyone.
彼女たち同士で組んでもらうことになったの。
I'm a little deflated at the sound of this completely inoffensive compromise.
高崎が白羽の班になったら面白そうだったのによ。
We love and respect gay girls in this household. Yes, I hold them gently like hot potato. The widow would have been quite a burden for the straight-laced class president and the serious, sensitive Shirahane. Which is exactly why I thought it'd have made an interesting combo. You say that now, and in less than a full minute, you will find out that she's going to be your new class, your new roommate. So eat those words, Erika. Well, the group she'd probably get along best in would be...
佐々木姉妹のところか。
It's currently just the two of them in their métier group too. With their outgoing personalities, even an oddball like her would find himself swept along in their current. Having concluded her explanation to the transfer students, Sister Basquiat puts her hand on Takasaki's shoulder and looks around the classroom. Then for some reason her gaze fixes on mine. She smiles brightly.
ごめんなさいね。そういえば一つだけ例外があったの。このクラスの生徒で高崎さんと非常に気質が合う子がいたの。
Dun, 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 come on, don't tell me.
だから転入生組は3名と2名で分かれることになるけれど、それで構わないわよね、高崎さん。
The bewildered looking Takasaki just gives a slight nod and Sister Basquiat claps her hands together and smiles.
それじゃあ高崎さんのアミティエですが。
Come on, seriously, you're kidding, right?
八重垣さんに頼みたいと思っています。よろしいですよね、八重垣。
意義あり。
Yari! Thank you for the hydrate time. Yari! My bad feeling had been right on the mark. I shamelessly fling my hand in the air.
どうしました、八重垣さん。
なんでイレギュラーな決め方をするんですか。転入生が6人なんだから3人と3人で網手を組めばいいんじゃありませんか。
Yes, but no.
ええ、だけど先ほども説明したでしょ。高崎さんはアミティエ選考試験を受けてもらい、そこで厳正な審査の結果決まったことなの。
This happens sometimes with the font they're using. I cannot tell you why, but for the first game, you actually you have to install a font that is not normally included with Windows to even display it properly, and sometimes weird cutoffs happen. I don't know. There's just something about the font that's a little off, I guess. She says this conclusively, and it was just that she get along well with me? No freaking way.
あ、いや、それは。
大丈夫よ。ちゃんと選考した上で八重垣さんなの。二人ともきっと気が合うわ。
The tone is gentle, yet to me it sounds worse than nail scraping down a chalkboard.
アミティエとして仲良くしてあげてくださいね。
In response to a calm explanation of the reasoning, all I can say is... I prefer to be alone.
一人きりがいいのに。
The unvarnished truth spills from my lips. Although I'd said it quietly, my voice still reaches Sister Basquiat's ears.
八重垣さん。
A melancholy shadow passes over her honey-colored eyes and she moves to stand before me. A sweet, womanly scent washes over me. She wraps a soft hand around mine.
大丈夫。先生は分かっていますからね。
No, you don't.
これからは寂しくありませんよ。きっと毎日が楽しく安寧に満ちた生活になります。
You know, Dahlia, sometimes people actually thrive on the fact that it can be alone.
なんか勘違いされてる。
She clearly thinks that I'm some lonesome girl trying to put on a brave face as she speaks to me in a quiet voice like she's consoling a child.
いや、そういうことではなくてですね。
何？
いえ、なんでもないです。
I said it didn't hold up well against people acting out of pure goodwill. Well, here's someone I'm even weaker against.
どうにも事情を思い出して仕方ないんだよな。
Although in appearance and personality she's completely different, Sister Basquiat still strongly reminds me of my second oldest sister.
わかりました。
I tried to pull my hand out of her warm grasp.
それではホームルームの後、学院内の案内をしてあげてくださいね。
She keeps a firm grip on my hand. All I can do is answer in the affirmative. Dun dun dun. This game is so bright. Jesus. Our class president asks if she has any questions, and Takasaki answers that there's nothing in particular.
こいつもめげないね。
The president's curtsy doesn't waver. She continues showing Takasaki around, the latter walking along beside her quite expressionlessly. The tour of the academy's various facilities is straightforward. In information she too well to know, the shortest route from the clubhouse back to the classrooms, where the toilets are located, and so on. Takazaki doesn't say a single word in response to the president's enthusiastic explanations. But the president soldiers on, regardless of whether or not her stony-faced companions seem listening. What a trooper.
ま、こいつが同行を求めてこなきゃ、愛想なし女を持て余してただろうしな。
Right. I had been asked by Sister Basquiat to show Takazaki my new amitié partner around the academy. Thinking that I wouldn't be able to bear being alone with her.
頼む、白羽。学内の案内一緒についてきてくれないか？え、私が？
Yeah. I'd asked my bookworm buddy for help. For a moment she looked bewildered by my request, then...
私でよければ。
She'd agreed, her cheeks flushed for some reason. Then...
スオさんが行くなら、私も！
God damn it! The president had joined us as well. Thinking about it now, half had been worth its weight in gold.
なんせ委員長以外は人嫌いと重度の捨て見知りだもんな。
God damn it. Where'd my cursor go?
何か言った？八重垣さん。
Nah, just thinking to myself.
いや、自分たちはいらないなって話さ。あ、ええ、そうね。
The president is taking responsibility for the entire campus tour. Well, I didn't particularly feel like doing it, and Shirahana isn't a great talker.
他の5名は風紀委員が案内しているって話だよな。
Surely Takasaki should have gone with them instead.
それと、この学院で紹介すべきところは。
I can tell where we're going from the direction she's headed. If Sister Basquiat's introduction were indeed true, then this might be the only spot that actually piques the interest of this awful face girl? What the fuck does that mean? After walking along for a while, bathed in the warm rays of the sun, I accidentally clicked ahead. The president comes to stop in front of a door. When she steps into the room, a tiny sliver of admiration peeks through the no mask Takazaki wears.
本当にバレエのレッスン室があるのね。
Well, yeah, everyone is kind of forced to do ballet lessons in this school, which is a very interesting move.
ええ、この学院の体育の時間はすべてクラシックバレエなの。高崎さんは経験者なのよね。
Some experience.
ええ。
Having hit upon this rare moment of mutual understanding, the president eagerly attempts to engage her in conversation. However, Takazaki goes on ahead to inspect the room herself, caressing the ballet as gently as one might a baby.
気に入ったようね。
At least one thing she likes.
そうみたいだな。
To be honest, I don't know what there's to be pleased about. Perhaps there are things that only an experienced ballet dancer would appreciate.
鏡がフランス製だとか。かね。
I smell Riley. It's probably beyond me anyway.
ねえ。はい、何かしら。バレエの授業は専門の指導者がいるの？あ、それは。
The president is about to answer, but then for some reason, despite my sitting by silently amid all the excitement, she stops herself and turns to me.
八重垣さん、高崎さんの質問に答えてあげて。
Why the fuck should I?
はあ？なんで私が
Me? I mean, they probably have. It's not like ballet is a thing that we only have in Europe just because it's a French thing. There's professionals all over the world.
だってこれからアミティエとして共に行動するのでしょ？
Though you
早
were
く仲良
not
くなっておいた方が
ever
いい
fully
わ。
gone. I'm about to refuse this well-intentioned meddling of hers when...
早く答えて。
God damn! Takasaki's haughty voice reverberates around the room and I heave a deep sigh. It's me! I'm the teacher! After looking straight into those distasteful eyes of hers for a moment, I tell her that I'm the ballet instructor.
あなたが？
Yeah.
そうだ。
Hey, Mokulan,
車椅
who's
子に
writing
乗
where
っている
I
からって
live?
おかしいかい？
Ooh.
サッカーの監督がすべて元選手だってわけじゃないだろ。
No, I don't think so. I've never been into ballet though, so I couldn't tell you. But I know way more people. I know way more people who were involved or are still involved with horse riding, so I think that's the more popular thing here. But that's only my own from my own experience, so I could be totally wrong. Why is... oh my god. Ugh, my face bleed. In Horses and Lives, I know people who have ever done anything related to ballet, to my awareness. Oh, I've definitely had classmates who had done ballet before. But even more classmates who do horse riding, so nobody cares about ballet. Yeah. At my spur of the moment joke, Takazaki walks towards me without the slightest change in expression.
なんだよ。
She stares intently into my face. Her porcelain skin peeks out from her black uniform. A scent like fresh peaches drifts across from her. She's wearing my favorite type of perfume. Or maybe it's a conditioner. Either way, it's annoying.
おい。
These two, actually. You know that one text says like, oh, back in school there was this one girl I had a crush on. I didn't know how to tell her, so I just wrote get out of my school on a piece of paper. Like, that's these two. That's their entire fucking relationship.
嘘つきの顔をじっくり確認しておきたかったのよ。お芝居の研究になるでしょ？
Damn!
お芝居だ？そうよ。あなたみたいなタイプはいなかったから興味深いわ。変わり者ね。そうかい。お前も五同類だよ。ゴッホや地味編も変わり者だった。
I'm surprised to hear the name Jimi Hendrix come up in our conversation. Although personally I prefer Led Zeppelin.
そろそろちゃんと答えてあげれば？
The president gives us an out from our exchange. Having lost interest, I simply tell her that Sister Basquiat teaches the classes, and Takazaki's usual expression as mass returns.
そろそろ案内は終わったんじゃねえの？
Yep. I give her a hint that I want to leave, but
まだ学者以外の説明が終わってないわ。
I'm actually more surprised that they allow her into this room with the wheelchair. Because isn't that a special type of flooring? Like the type of floor you're not supposed to go on with the, like, outdoor shoes either? Seems like the press didn't exactly catch my hint.
校舎の外となると。
The main places you'd need to know about would probably be the gazebo, the chapel, the allotments, and the greenhouse.
車椅子で出歩くには面倒な場所なんだよな。
Since it's unpaved around the front of the chapel, I prefer not to go there.
寄宿舎に戻るときは土を落として入らなくちゃならないしな。
No. Why does it only show 3 fucking text boxes? Oh, it doesn't go farther than this, damn it. It says something about her tires squeaking. They're not wooden wheels. First, my annoyance is showing because Shirahane looks a little restless.
そうだわ。
She claps her hands together excitedly.
とっておきの場所があるの。高崎さんも八重垣さんも気に入ると思うわ。
Just as I had expected. When we get outside, we head first to the adjacent chapel. I definitely said that wrong. And then to the gazebo where my classmates hold their tea parties. Before... Shirahane pushes my wheelchair over to the greenhouse, slightly further removed from the school. Our final stop is the allotments where we grow vegetables, and with that the tour is finished. Or so I thought. My bookworm buddy suddenly pipes up. What do you think? Aren't they adorable? Frankly, I'm not interested at all, so all I can manage is a limp yeah. Bunnies! On the way back from my allotment, Shirahane had tried to turn down a route that would take us back to the greenhouse, and I jokingly asked her if she was looking to sabotage the tour.
これからとっておきの場所に行くのよ。
That's how she'd responded. I finally remembered what she'd said before we set out on our little tour of the grounds. Since she was the one pushing my wheelchair, I was wheeled along at her mercy until...
とっておきってこれかよ。そう、とっても可愛いでしょ。
bunnies! So many bunnies!
Shirahane is stroking the rabbit's head as you might comfort a child. The rabbit narrows its eyes blissfully as she pats it, as though intoxicated by the sensation. The small creatures do have it in them to keep still.
それにしてもウサギ小屋かよ。小学校じゃ定番だが、この学院にもあったんだな。
This was not mentioned in the first game.
私も最近知ったの。農場で廃棄される野菜をどこに捨てたらいいか上級生に聞いたら、この子たちにあげるんだって聞いて。
I gaze at the rabbits who are munching innocently on what looks to be cabbage leaves. Rabbits are actually pretty big.
ほら、こっちよ。人参があるわよ。ほらほら、美味しいわよ。
Rabbits don't actually like carrots.
全然懐かれないのな、委員長。
ウサギは人参が大好き
Yeah,
な
that's
ん
the
じゃ
thing
ない
that
の？
movies and cartoons try to tell you, but it's not true. She calls out to them, but the rabbits don't so much as turn away. Her shoulders slump, her braids appear to droop quite pitifully.
お前も餌やったらどうよ。
If the president has no affinity for animals, then Takasaki's the complete opposite. Even though she has no food or anything, the rabbits congregate around her feet in such numbers that she can't take a single step.
どうしたらそんなに懐かれるの？わからないわ。
She looks bewildered, but holds out the leaves I hand her toward the rabbits, who immediately scramble for them.
食べてる。
I think I see a small smile cross Takasaki's lips.
なんだ、笑えるんじゃんか。
In that moment, Takasaki becomes slightly more human to me. Maybe because our first encounter had been so unreal, she had seemed like a character from a dream.
高崎さんはお家で何か動物は飼っていたの？何も。仕事以外では初めて触れたわ。
Wow! The president seems shocked to hear this, but perhaps glad to be able to keep the conversation going. She gives up on trying to coax the rabbits.
そう。あまりに慣れているからご趣味で動物を飼っているのかと思ったわ。
She says.
趣味。何か変なことを聞いてしまった？趣味は持ったことはないわ。私、無駄なことはしない主義なの。
Okay then. Her words are clipped and I can't help but react to the phrase waste of time.
無駄なことはしないって。人生なんてその無駄を楽しむものだろ。
人生を切り開くのなら、無駄な要素は省くものよ。
Okay, you're like, what, 16? Calm down. I counter those clip words of hers with some of my own.
バレエが趣味だって言ってたじゃないかよ。趣味ってのは暇つぶしの代表だろ。
趣味は自分にとって益かどうかで決めるものだわ。
Aha.
趣味に意義を見出したら、それは習い事だろうがよ。
Perhaps that hit home because Takasaki narrows her pale green eyes and stares at me intently as though to assert my true intentions. Then haughty expression again. This girl really is.
そろそろ教室へ戻りましょう。うさぎさんたちもあまり構いすぎると疲れてしまうでしょうし。
そうだな。
ええ。
バイバイ。
I avert my gaze from Takasaki at the president's intercession and look over at my bookworm body who's waving to the rabbits. It's hard to put into words for a misanthrope like me, but the way she's waving at the rabbits reminds me of the old Shirahane, and I can't help but smile a little.
どうしたの、八重垣さん。いや。
Shirahane still seems reluctant to leave the rabbit pen.
早くして。じゃないと置いていくわよ。
Oh, it does just say rabbits over here. Usagi. And then there's a little rabbit head drawn next to it. That's cute. Takasaki is walking ahead with the president and calls back to us, and I flash another cat-like smile at my bookworm body. Why are you yourself calling your smile cat-like? I was so ready to leave that behind us.
な、いいアミティエだろ。
Mm-hmm. My voice is dripping with sarcasm. She's a riot. There's a line in a Hemingway novel that goes like this. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for.
後半の部分は賛成だ。
The hair that reminds me of Kosaka, those jade eyes that scent of
思ったよ
peaches.
りも小さい部屋ね。
I glare at my roommate, the first words out of her mouth when she enters the bedroom are derogatory.
窓際は私のベッドだ。お前はドア側だ。わかったな。
That's what I tell Takasaki. I'd hope to get everything out of the way by the end of the tour, but
アミティエになったからには同じ部屋になるんだよな。
it was no wonder that she turned up here straight after class. And I let a sigh as I watched Takasaki survey the room with that haughty expression of hers.
かの文豪も戦えと言っているしな。
I would hate to suddenly get a roommate. Like, you've been living, alone. You've had your own room for the 3 months you've been going to school, and suddenly you get a new roommate and a new, like, person to try and become friends with that's forced upon you. Ugh.
あなた独り言が多いわね。
Yeah, usually, because there's usually no one listening.
お前が吐かせているんだよ。おい、勝手に本棚のものに触れるなよ。そこにあるのは全て私物だ。
この本全部が？
そうだよ。読書が趣味なんだ。令嬢然とした私に似合ういい趣味だろ。
Rather than hitting back with a rude response, Takasaki sets her luggage down on the unused desk and starts unpacking.
ここにある本、すべて読んでいるの？
ああ、当然だろ。それが何か？
She gazes at the shelf, her eyes moving over the spines of the books.
一貫性がないわ。本なら何でもいいと言った風ね。やはり変わり者だわ。
What is your fucking problem?
それはお互い様だろ。なあ、高崎。お前途中編入だけどさ、何をしてここへ飛ばされたんだ？
She stops in the midst of her unpacking.
あなたも途中編入組だと聞いたけれど。
へえ、誰に聞いたのかね。おしゃべりな双子姉妹か？
なら想像がつくでしょ。
私と同じ理由だってことかい？
She flashes me a crooked smile. You can read it two ways, either she's sneering at me or smiling wryly at our shared circumstances.
まあいいさ。同じホテルカリフォルニアにチェックインしたんだからな。仲良くとは口が裂けても言えないが、お互い境界線だけは守っていこうぜ。
チェックインするのはたやすくても、決して立ち去ることはできない。
Well, what do you know? Seems like she knows a bit of American rock.
歌詞じゃ大敗的な滞在者に嫌気がさして飛び出そうって話だが、住めば都ってやつだ。それも互いにプライバシーを
I do not know what song they're
大前提
referencing.
だがね。
I do not know my American rock.
こんなところ、さっさと出ていくわ。
Oh. I hear her mutter something. Her brooding expression piques my curiosity, but
さっきからお互いの私生活には踏み込まないって言っていたけど、聞いてるのかね。
she's an elusive one. There's a sudden knock at the door. I call out, inviting the person inside. We need a geologist for this. And yet another elusive character enters.
ごきげんよう。
ごきげんよ
あらあら、荷ほどきをしていたのね。
You're both a Gokigen-yo and an Aura character. I forget.
はい。八重垣さんも協力してあげたのね。もう仲良くなったみたいね。
She elegantly covers her mouth with her hand to hide her smile. She must have gotten a wrong impression since... I can't talk today. She must have gotten a wrong impression since Takasaki and I were facing one another as she came into the room. Gokigen-yo is a way of greeting. But like it's very polite. Honestly, the most I've ever heard it was in one season of Jewel Pet, Lady Jewel Pet, when it's like, oh, you know, they go to a school for young ladies to act properly ladylike. A weird way to say haughty. I mean, Dahlia is not haughty. That's just the way she talks.
ごきげんよう。
It's like how normal people would just like say hi, hello, and these people are just like, oh, a good day to you. And probably drink tea in the same second. True. True, you can. I like Dahlia though.
さすがにどこに目をつけてるんだと言いたくなるぜ。
But I can't say I think when faced with an embodiment of goodwill more formidable even than the president's.
どう？八重垣さん
How
に
do you
学院
explain
内を
Hardy
案内しても
actually?
らって、
Okay,
こ
thank
こは
you.
気に入
Thank you,
った
Matt.
かしら？
So thank you for the posture check. Ooh.
高崎さんは恥ずかしがり屋さんなのね。
Ana characters under the sun. Yeah. As usual, Sister Basquiat chooses to see only the best.
まあ、この人は
Well,
性善
that's
説の
voice.
人だから
My
ね。
bad.
Yes, that's what I meant. Of course, I'm of the opposite opinion.
それでバスキア教諭、何かご用があるのですか？
そうそう、そうなのよ。言い忘れたことがあって伺ったの。
She folds her arms in front of her chest with a smile squashing her ample bosom. The sight of it gives me an odd feeling. An odd feeling! You're ogling her chest, young lady!
八重垣さんと同室になった高崎さんには心得てもらいたいことがあるの。
Agreed to. Takazaki repeats the phrase and Sister Basquiat says it once more.
八重垣さんとアミティアになったからには、はい、少し前かがみになってね。
Before I have a moment to protest, I find myself being picked up as usual. Damn! She's strong!
ベッドに移動するときや移動のときはこうして抱き上げて。先生ほらダメよ、暴れたら危ないわ。
Sheesh! She rocks me tenderly in her arms as though soothing a child. Her full breasts are pressed up against my cheek, and I can feel my entire face flushing. I'm enveloped in Sister Basquiat's sweet scent as she gently lays me down on the bed.
つまりは私が八重垣さんの介助を行うと。
That's the saying? I
そう、
don't think I've heard of that
ほ
saying
とんど
before.
八重垣さん一人で行えるけれど、大変なところは協力して
Also,
ほ
don't
しい
just
の。
pick people up before asking them. It's not
例
a
えば
good look.
食事をこの部屋に持ってきたり、
バスキア教諭。
あとはお着替えとかかしら。そうね、それじゃパジャマへ着替えるのを私が実演するわね。
あ、いや、本当に勘弁して。
Medium back big friends. I look over at Takasaki,
で
but
はないか。
she's just wearing her usual haughty look. I'd have given her a real piece of my mind if she was sneering, but
そう？まあ、お着替えは実演しなくともわかるわよね。それじゃあ今度は車椅子に移動する時の介助を見ていてね。
she moves my chair over to the side of the bed, then leans down toward me, encouraging me. Knowing Sister Basquiat's personality, resistance is futile, so I go along with her in order to get it over with as quickly as possible.
こうして体重を任せてもらえば随分と楽になるの。それと腕力で体を引き起こそうとしてはダメ。直立した姿勢でなく腰を落としておくの。
なぜです？
力だけで移動させようとすると腰を痛めてしまうからよ。
Smart.
体
Smart.
全体を使って解除するの。
With that, she picks up my limp body and moves me into the wheelchair waiting beside the bed. I let her get on with it.
世話になっている以上、無下にはできないしな。
Not true, you could technically tell her off. Given the seriousness of the demeanors, I imagine that getting bashful now would be far more embarrassing.
わかったかしら？
はい。
Bodily autonomy. She pulls a notepad from her bag and nods as she jots down a few memos. Sister Basquiat puts her forefinger to her lips.
あとは そうね、お風呂だけど。
Maybe don't make another girl responsible for the entire care? I take it back.
本当にそれだけは勘弁してください。
I thought that getting all bashful here would be embarrassing, but I'm loath to have Takasaki see me naked. Honestly, I think I'd rather die.
あら、
For some reason, Sister Basquiat blushes, a rare sight.
八重垣さん、お風呂の介助はさ、受け付けないの？
She dresses me. I wouldn't want it to be anyone but you! Because her skin is so white to start with, her blushing cheeks are blindingly obvious. It's incredibly hard to say as much when Sister Basquiat is acting this bashful, but...
先生の方がいいかなって。
I have no choice but to respond like this.
あらあらあらあら。
Okay, we got our fill of the ara 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 ara.
え？
Eh?
おい、勘違いするなよ。そんなんじゃ。
Her joy changes instantly to disappointment.
いや、言葉の通りなんだけどさ。
I can't think of the right word.
別に消去法だってのに。
I don't want Takasaki to do it, so I'd rather go with Sister Basquiat. There's nothing strange about it.
人に選ばれるって嬉しいものね。
I remained silent while Sister Basquiat clasped her hands together in delight.
あら、八重垣さん、疲れているみたいだけど大丈夫？
It's been a long day.
アイスを抱えてやけ食いしたい気分ですか？
Ice cream.
平気です。
I have ice cream at home.
ダメ
I
よ。
could have
そ
some
んな
ice
ことを
cream.
したらお腹が冷えてしまうわ。
My sarcasm flew right over her head.
それじゃ少し早いですけど行きましょうか。
With an angelic smile, Sister Basquiat puts her hands to the handles of my wheelchair. Well, we go. Oh, I'm embarrassed. It's been a long time since I felt shame of this kind. It's different to being embarrassed by someone or turning red because someone picked up on a moment of ignorance. It's a purely sexual embarrassment. Wait. Okay, no,
ど
we're
こ
safe.
かお
Good.
かゆいところはありますか？
I was like, wait! Hold on.
今日はいつも以上に楽しげですね。
My eyes can't help but linger on her skin, so brilliantly white that you wouldn't think she was Japanese. Then, they're not particularly visible under her usual robes, but I can't take my eyes off the two obvious protrusions under her bath towel.
すごいよな。
Although in general, Sister Basquiat tends to remind me of my sister, this is one area she doesn't. All the women in my family are slender and flat-chested.
いつもより八重垣さんとたくさんお話できている
Yeah,
からかしら。
all ages rating, but still, sometimes those things tend to show a lot of skin where I'm like, ooh, I don't think I should be showing that on stream. A full breast jiggle as she washes my legs and I hurriedly avert my gaze like, come on, Erica, look somewhere else, I'm begging you. I'm used to this. At home, my two elder sisters had helped me bathe, and after entering the academy, that task had fallen to Sister Basquiat. At first, I felt embarrassment, but since it's an act of care, the shame had disappeared after the first 2 or 3 baths.
はずだったんだけどな。
ん？強くしすぎたかしら？
いえ、ちょうどいいくらいです。
そう？上手になったかしら？
Because of Chidori Takasaki, I've become self-conscious again. I let out a little sigh, hoping to dispel some of my ardor.
今日はずいぶん念入りにやるんですね。
少し早めに来たから念入りにしましょう。女の子ですものね。
はあ。
Each year group has a set time period in which to use the baths. Because of my disability though, I bathe before everyone else. We don't exactly have to rush, but we can't take our time either.
世話をかけてすいません。
あらあら、今日はずいぶんと素直なのね。
Wouldn't it make more sense for her to just be allowed to go bathe at whatever time she wants? And take however long she needs? She smiles brightly. Her golden hair, usually covered by her habit, flutters about and I find myself captivated by it.
砂をついでに聞いてもいいですか？
なに？
どうして高崎とアミティエにしたんですか？
I turn my gaze from Sister Basquiat's hair to her gentle golden eyes. They stare straight into mine and I can clearly read what's written in them.
いや、 頼ることを学ぶため。
A smile spreads across her lips at my words.
それもだけれど、高崎さんと気が合うと思ったの。
正直合わないと思います。
そうかしら。二人ともとても似ているわ。
I want to shout out my objection, but the look on her face stops me. Her expression tells me that she really does believe what she's saying. I sigh. It feels like that's all I've been doing today.
かわいいわ、八重垣さん。私が同級生だったらアミティアになりたかったわ。
Ooh. I want to be yours. She may simply have said that on a whim, but Sister Basquiat's words buoy me a little.
私も
Wee.
バスキア教諭だったらよかったと思いました。
As I tell her this, a crimson flush spreads immediately from my neck up to my cheeks.
本当に？
ええ。
そう、本当に嬉しいわ。
Suddenly finding myself enveloped in her arms, I let out an uncharacteristic squawk. My cheeks flush even darker as a huge blossom, incomparably larger than mine, squashes against me.
先生。
But this is exactly what I mean. This is her inner thoughts. Girl, you are not straight. I'm begging you.
八重垣さんは本当に人を喜ばせるのが上手ね。
And she says that she's not being sarcastic.
大丈夫よ。
何が？
私を思いやっていてくれたのでしょ。八重垣さんは人へ優しさを与えられる人ですもの。だからきっとうまくいくわ。
そうですね。
I keep my true feelings to myself. I don't feel like I can simply throw away such genuine affection. I think her hopes are misplaced. Takasaki sat in front of me, silently eating breakfast. Yesterday she'd received instructions on how to assist me from Sister Basquiat, but to be honest, despite her nodding dutifully in front of the teacher, I thought she'd ignore her obligations when it came down to it. However, first thing in the morning she got me up and offered to help me dress like it was the most natural thing in the world. When I turned her down, she'd waited patiently for me to get ready, and then she'd help me from my bed into my wheelchair just as Sister Basquiat had demonstrated the previous day.
食事を持ってくるから待っていなさい。
With that, she leaves, her usual haughty look on her face. Then...
やっ
Ooh.
ぱり朝はパンだよな。
We then ended up eating breakfast together, just the two of us. Since breakfast is basically a buffet, everything we're having was chosen by Takasaki. Toast with lashings of honey and fluffed scrambled eggs. Seaweed salad with crispy bacon. It's a pretty tantalizing array of food. I'm pleased to see that there's more than Sister Basquiat usually brings for me.
お前、朝はパン派？それともご飯派？その顔はシリアル派か。まあどちらかというと外人顔だしな。黙って食べられないの？冗談だよ。朝からサラダしか食ってないやつをからかったんだ。
The portion is so small, I wonder how it could possibly be enough to fill her up. There's a colorful arrangement on her plate, but it mostly consists of lettuce and tomatoes, and I'm skeptical about whether it'll really sustain her until lunchtime.
あのさ、もしかしてお前ベジタリアンとか？
Asking her this, I put my pill in my mouth and swallow it down with some cold water. It's the one I take before meals. Then I stuffed the slightly singed bacon I've been looking forward to into my mouth. It tastes like bliss. Takasaki's practically glaring at me as I chow down on the meat, which is cut to just the right thickness for me.
違うわ。でもサラダ以外は食べないようにしているの。
Why? Even if she's not a
芸
vegetarian.
能人ゆえのスタイルへの気遣いってとこかね。
Okay. I don't think I could ever live the celebrity life. Eating is one of my few pleasures. It really would be tough to part with. I feel this is all the I cannot read today. I feel this all the more sincerely as I bite into my honey toast. Silence falls over the dining table for a while. While Takasaki's eating her boring salad, I turn my attention to my as yet untouched scrambled eggs. They're cooked to perfection with fresh cream mixed into the beaten eggs. I take a big forkful and eat it up without any awful condiments like tomato ketchup to sully it. The fresh cream adds a hint of sweetness and the butter a moderate tang of salt. I eat around in a circuit of bread, bacon, scrambled egg and salad. Before long my plate is empty. I'm only 80% full, but that's just right for breakfast.
下げるわ。
Because I take my time, Takasaki finished eating before me. She now leans forward and stacks her plate on top of mine. As she leans in, I catch the scent of peaches. I almost get the sense that the room itself is starting to soak it up.
戻ってくるまでに用意をしておいて。はあ？カバンに教科書を詰めるのよ。これから授業でしょ？
I'm not going. I am going. A perfectly ordinary classroom scene. That's how the majority of the students here at the academy would no doubt respond if you were to ask them what was going on right now as you sit down at the desk for first period. However,
私にとっては日常じゃない。
I gaze out of the classroom window only to be blinded by the summer sunlight shining down on me. Clouds are scudding by quickly. I think we may be in for a shower.
普段は寄宿舎の部屋で本を眺めてる時間なんだけどな。
Takasaki must have assumed that I usually attend class. Although I suggested self-study in my room, she seemed to take it as a joke and dragged me along to the classroom without taking no for an answer. My classmates are surprised to see me there for the second day running. I thought perhaps she'd pick up on it from their reactions, but it doesn't seem like Takasaki is that on the ball. She takes me over to my desk, then sits down in her own seat and starts preparing for the lesson.
そして今に至る。
Tearing my eyes away from the clouds, I pretend to be buried in my textbook and watch as Takasaki reads out a sentence in English.
John took a trip to a long trip.
She reads the passage very falteringly. Apparently John is setting out on a journey. Seems like she's not very good at English. Well, celebrities probably don't have much time for study. My theory isn't overturned. Not in second period math, nor in third period physics. It seems like her grades are on the lower end of average. Average at best. However, after completing some basic barre exercises, they move on to the floor to practice. Takasaki begins her center work. She moves on the I don't fucking know what that is. Or arm movement exercises to the exercises that work the legs. Then after practicing her changements, she starts practicing her pirouettes. The spins that first come to mind when you hear the word ballet if you're a layman like me. She turns on the spot, her posture never faltering as though held up by a string suspended from the ceiling.
大したものね。
More French terms, to no one's surprise. From beside me, the president, who's been enthusiastically running me through each move, breathes a sigh of admiration.
まあ、説明されなくてもある程度は知っているんだけどね。
My eldest sister happened to do ballet and I somehow remember a bit of the lingo. Despite my protest, she dragged me out to watch her practice, saying it would do me good to get out of the house. She even made me go along to her recitals. Although I don't really have an eye for this kind of thing.
確かに、ちょっとしたバレエ教室じゃお目にかかれないレベルだな。何か質問があるのかしら？
I point to Takasaki and address the president, who's been explaining things to me as though I'm a complete novice.
腰回りのあれ、チュチュって言うんだろ？
チュチュ。
あれが揺れる姿はそそるな。
I say.
何を言っているの？あれはチュチュじゃなくてスカートでいいのよ。
I meant to force a change of subject, but the truth is, I'm so captivated with Takasaki that I can't look straight at her without prattling on like this. Right now, her eyes, usually so cold, seem filled with an earnest light.
ああして回転の軸をぶれさせないで回るのは大変なのよ。だろうね。想像しかできないけどな。
It had been a throwaway comment without any deeper meaning, but the president's shoulders slump in an exaggerated display of gloom.
やっちまったな。
Since recently I've been talking with Takasaki, who responds to my self-deprecation with the biting retorts, I'd run my mouth without thinking.
ごめんなさい。そんなに暗くなる話題じゃない。なあ委員長、あの動きはなんて言うんだ？あれはシェネよ。
シェネ？
へえ、小気味いいリズムで踊るんだな。シェネは速い動きが綺麗なのよ。だから八重垣さんの感想で正解。
She smiles at me and I'm a little relieved. It's a pain to have someone worrying all the time.
そろそろ締めかね。あれはグランワルツ。最後にリベランスで終了ね。
She performs the grand balls, combining grand leaps and pirouettes before coming to land perfectly on the floor. Then...
ああ、あれは見たことがある。演技の最後でお辞儀することが リベランスっていう
Isn't she gonna be bored if she's kind of a professional already?
お辞儀、敬意を表す言葉だそうよ。
へえ
My guess is a total novice. I nod admiringly at her knowledge. Takasaki gracefully extends her arms as she bows, while our classmates watch on enviously. Although she's known to be an eccentric, it doesn't look like there's anything too outside the box when it comes to her dancing, which is simply beautiful. It really is completely captivating. She looks at me with that haughty glare of hers again.
次は何を踊るんだい
Right now I don't even mind it. Only this time though, only when she's performing. At the sound of noisy banging, I put down the book I'm reading and make my way toward the protesting door. Annoyed by the disturbance, I unlock the door and open it. On the other side is...
遅い
my amitié partner, behaving like her usual strange self. Her hands are full, so she must have been banging on the door with her foot.
ちゃんと注文通りの品を持ってきたみたいだな感心感心
Ignoring my banter, she slips briskly past me with a tray of lunch things in her hands. The scent of peaches tickles my nose and I'm annoyed at myself for thinking what a nice fragrance it is. Yeah, the system... it's a friendship system. It just sounds fancier using the French word, I guess. Takasaki graciously lays out the food on the table then.
早く食べて。
That's all she says. Despite the summer heat, her voice is cold.
お前な
I'm about to voice my complaints, but my stomach silences me the moment the smell of the food reaches my nose. I'm irritated, but more than that, right now I'm hungry. My complaints can wait until after I've eaten.
へえへえそれじゃいただきますかね
Friendship partner sounds weird to you? I mean, yeah, to be fair, I think the entire concept is a little weird. Because they're putting usually three people together in a group to be like, haha, you have to do everything together because you did like one task at the beginning of the year and now we think you might get along well. Okay. Like forced body for the sake of school cohesion. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Luckily for the main characters, they do end up getting along with their partners. But also, it's a weird concept. I move my wheelchair into position and pick up my knife and fork. It's beef cutlet, my favorite.
おっと
Ooh.
忘れるところだった
I take my pre-meal pill, then pick up my knife and fork once more. I slice through the crisp batter, cutting the meat into equal pieces so that it's easier to eat. I squeeze the accompanying lemon over one half and leave the other as it is.
イタリア料理はどうも好みじゃないがこいつだけは別なんだよな
First, I toss a bite of the plain half of the cutlet into my mouth. I taste the olive oil and butter and the tang of the salt and pepper seasoning. The soft meat melts on my tongue, joining the whole thing together in a harmonious dance of flavors. It brings me great happiness. After reveling in a blissful feeling for a while, I take the freshly baked bread and cut it into thirds before spreading it with sour cream for my own personal supply. When I sink my teeth into the bread, a rich milky taste spreads through my mouth along with a refreshing note of sourness. This is delicious too. Moving back and forth between the cutlet and the bread, I address my amitié partner who's sitting across from me.
でお前はまたサラダなのかよ
そうよ。
Takasaki's looking at her salad very seriously, like a mathematician faced with a particularly complex equation. So far as I've seen, she's only eaten salad in her time here.
ベジタリアンじゃないって言ってたけどよっぽどサラダが好きなんだ
At
な
least a little bread? Something that's not just a salad?
もしかして前世が虫とか
黙って食べられないの？
No. Eyes finally turned from her salad to me. I hadn't felt it during her ballet practice, but it's her usually haughty look.
今朝から同じメニューだろ気にならない方が嘘だもしかしてそういう戒律とか
キリスト教にはそんな戒律はないでしょ。これは必要だから食べているの
You
よ。
need to. She sure phrases things in an odd way.
必要だからね野菜を食わないと肌に悪いってのは聞くけどでも私たちくらいの年齢ならこいつも食わなきゃな
I spare a piece of cutlet with my fork and hold it out, offering her a bite. When I look over at those almond eyes of hers, she seems taken aback at my horseback. Almond! Her eyes are green. The fuck are you talking about? But then
いただくわ。
her peachy lips glossy even when she's not wearing any lip gloss steal the food from my fork. A blush creeps over my cheeks at the realization that I've just fed her. I try to fight it back.
どうよ。
I'm still struggling to keep myself from turning red. After chewing methodically for a while, she gets up abruptly from her seat and goes over to her desk. She takes a pencil and a notepad from the bookshelf, then returns to the table. Soft sound of graphite rubbing against paper breaks the quiet of the table as her pencil dances nimbly over the notebook. I may not like her, but I'm still curious to know what she's doing.
おい、いきなり何を書き出しているんだ？もしかしてレシピとか割り出して書き留めているわけ？おい、自分ノートよ。
I really?
は？自分ノート。
For what? She stops writing for a second to say only that before resuming again. Based on her demeanor, it's clear that she expects me to understand what she's doing from just those few words. No way.
それだけじゃ白羽だってわかるわけないっての。
I'm unbearably curious. Are you writing a poem or something?
もしかしてポエムとか書いているわけ？ポエム？
Takasaki doesn't stop writing. She shakes her head in answer to my question. Her shoulder-length hair flutters, wafting over that smell I like.
詩を書く趣味はないわ。読みたいのならクラスの双子の姉妹に頼んだらどう？佐々木姉妹に？
They read poetry?
名前は覚えていないけれど、机の上に可愛らしいカエルの置物を置いていたわ。
Oh, okay.
So,
to be honest,
同じことを考える。
I'd spoken with the elder of the two before about how she looked like the kind of girl who'd enjoyed picture books, and that was mostly on account of her outward appearance.
あいつは可愛いもの好きだが、俗物的な意味での可愛いもの好きなんだ。夢見がちな系統じゃないよ。そう。
She looks momentarily taken aback. I'm annoyed that I find it kind of cute. She puts a pencil down on the table, then holds the notebook out to me. I'm startled for a moment as I hadn't thought she was the type to share private musings, but I take the notebook from her.
バレエ、英語の授業、子牛の滑舌ってなんだこりゃ。言ったでしょ、自分ノートよ。だからそれがわからないって。もしかしてこれって好き嫌いを書いたノートなのかよ。
She snatches the notebook back out of my hands with a disparaging look, as if to communicate the fact that she's been saying exactly that all along.
芸能活動で今までプライベートがなかったから、好きか嫌いかなんて考える暇がなかったわ。だから自分が何が好きで何が嫌いなのかってことをノートに書き記しているの。
Smart. I stare instantly into her face, which looks just the same as always.
変わっているな。
I heave a deep sigh.
そうかしら。
A little.
そうさ。私よりも変わり者だよ。
She closes the notebook and goes back to eating her salad.
で、そのサラダも好きってわけだ。
She narrows her almond eyes.
好きなわけがないじゃない。スタイルを維持するために食べているだけよ。こんなものは虫が食べるものだわ。
She says.
はあ、何を呆れた顔をしているの？あなたが虫だって言ったんじゃない。そりゃ、そうだけどな。
She's picking out her salad with a deadly serious expression on her face. In fact, in light of what she just said, it looks to me like she's eating it quite unwillingly.
こいつ、なかなか面白いやつなのかも。
I realize that I'm smiling to myself as I eat my lemon-drenched cutlet. Having shown me an unexpected side to her over lunch, Takasaki forces me to class without any room for argument as soon as she's cleared up our lunch things. After 6 whole hours of class, I'm completely wiped out.
なんでこんな場所にいるんだ？
We had the rabbit pen we'd visited
八垣
before.
さん、ほら、こっちよ。
Her voice is excited. I wouldn't usually go along with this kind of thing, but since she sounds so happy.
足元がおぼつかないんだよ。ちょっと待ってくれ。
I call across to my bookworm body.
ごめんなさい。
She comes rushing over to me in a fluster. Seems like she's brought me here out of consideration for my fatigue after the unfamiliar experience of attending class, but...
個人的には 図書室の方が良かったけどな。
I'm not about to say that to her face, though.
押すわね。
あ
She takes hold of my chair's handles and wheels me over to the rabbit pen.
あ。で、何が見てだって？
ほら、黒いウサギのそば、藁の中を見て。
I strained my eyes looking where she indicated and... Babies! I see something stirring in the hay.
もしかして赤ん坊が生まれたとか？
そう、そうなの。かわいいわよね。
They look oddly shaped, not gonna lie. Shirahana's eyes are narrowed and blissed as she gazes at the bunnies. To be honest...
小さいネズミの赤ちゃんかと思ったぜ。
I do admire her purity of heart, her ability to see cuteness in these little brown creatures squirming around in the straw. In fact, I can't help but be strangely impressed by Shirahana's femininity in this regard. After watching the baby bunnies in silence for a while,
ねえ、八重垣さん。
Shirahana suddenly addresses me.
なんだ？
アミティエはやっぱりいいものでしょ？
I realized that while this is a genuine question about how I'm getting along with Takasaki, Shirahana is also alluding to her own amitié partner who disappeared in the spring.
さあね。まだ実感できるほど知り合っちゃいないよ。
そうよね。昨日の今日だものね。
Yep. She continued staring at the baby rabbits. Then, after a brief pause,
仲良くなれそう？
she questions me again. You would have been a better amitié partner. The first thing that comes to mind at her question, the notion that in asking me about my relationship with my amitié partner, Shirahana is alluding to Mayuri Kosaka, the girl who disappeared in the spring. I think we understand that she disappeared in the spring.
無理だな。え？性格的にとかじゃなく、生理的にってやつだ。正直、仲良くはなれないだろうな。
そんな。
Facing up to her when she so reminds me of my past self is like dealing with a very particular kind of pain. Shirahana is watching me restlessly.
お前がミティエならよかった。
That's my answer.
八重垣さん。
趣味は合うし、余計なことは喋らないしな。
Her cheeks flush scarlet and she smiles.
ありがとう、八重垣さん。でもね、でも、お部屋が本だらけになってしまうわ。
Good!
理想の空間だ。
We laugh together and I feel more cheerful than I have in a long time. There isn't a trace of melancholy in Shirahana's smile either. Apologizing inwardly to the mother rabbit we startled with our laughter, I look up at the huge clouds trailing in overhead. I wonder how far we can get tonight. Don't do that. After yawning widely, I suddenly get the sense that something's off. A small niggling sensation that something's not quite right. As though I've just realized that the scenery I've been staring out at is just a reflection.
いや、こいつは。
At this familiar disquiet, I decide I might as well get up.
もう少し寝ていたいんだけどな。
Going by how hungry I am, I reckon I'm up quite a bit earlier than usual. Fighting back another yawn, I pull myself over to the side of the bed and pick up the uniform that's folded neatly on the seat of my wheelchair.
このままだと気持ち悪くて眠れないしな。
As I get changed into my uniform without the help of my usual carer, I consider the fact that a week has already passed. And now my amitié partner Takasaki Chidori assists me in place of Sister Basquiat, who helped me dress in the past. Over the last 7 days, Takasaki has got me up in the mornings, taken me to class and eaten 3 meals a day here in his room with me. My amitié partner's taking on all of my care duties other than bathing.
あいつは。
I look over to the next bed, finally realizing what's behind that strange niggling feeling. As I suspected, the bed is empty. I take care not to crease the pleats as I put my clothes on. It's not like I care that much personally, though I don't like looking overly shabby. I'm of the opinion that as long as you're wearing something, you're pretty much fine. Creases and wrinkles are just a fact of life, or so I thought until not that long ago. After I'm dressed, I look down at my pristine, unwrinkled uniform. I think back on the family trip we taken to Italy. Regardless of where you went, there was a clear difference in the treatment you received at fancy European restaurants based on the clothes you were wearing. No matter the social standing, any guest thought to be dressed improperly wouldn't receive stellar service, and if you were really unkempt, they wouldn't even let you in. However irrational I found it, the general uprightness of it made a real impression on me, and I resolved to always present myself well as a kind of courtesy. I get into my chair and head over to my desk so I can check the clock. I have enough time to go back to bed for a bit, and I'm considering doing so when I realize. Yeah, that's usually what happens. I've definitely had days where I woke up early and was like, oh my god. I didn't want to risk like properly going back to sleep and then not waking up. So I would force myself to get up, put on the clothes I wanted to wear later, and then like just go back to bed. So I just have to jump out. But that usually ends up with those clothes looking horrible. Instead, I reach for the partially open window to reveal the source of that niggling feeling. When I open the window fully, air flows into the room and the cool morning breeze caresses my forehead. I gaze out at the dew-wet trees for a while, taking in the morning air. Is she singing again? The whisper of her voice, the source of that earlier disquiet, it's... When I strain my ears, I can hear a voice singing perfectly in pitch. A lonely voice, one which really sinks its claws into my heart. However, a fragile, far sound carried through the unbroken quiet of the morning. I listen, rapt. It really is quite otherworldly. I hadn't been aware of it until now, but it occurs to me that she must have been going out to practice her singing every morning between sunrise and my waking up. At first I found it an annoying switch up to my daily routine. Life is just a matter of killing time as I see things. It's not like I yearn for peace and quiet. The occasional irregularity isn't so bad. I close my eyes and enjoy her singing, so faint that it's in constant danger of disappearing until it finally stops. This class scene has become a pretty regular part of my day-to-day life. The Ave Maria echoes through the chapel, everyone listening rapt to the solemn voice. The person singing, Chidori Takazaki. It's a voice that I first heard beneath the cherry trees. Back then, my first reaction had been one of irritation, but hearing it again in a formal setting like this, I can tell just how talented she is. Shirahane must have overheard my mutterings as she looks over at me with curiosity. Final note is swallowed up by the chapel walls and a huge round of applause takes its place. She was definitely good enough to warrant a clap or two for me too.
はい、とってもお上手でした。ありがとうございます、高崎さん。
This is supposed to be Bible study, but since singing hymns is a tradition here, some of our time has been set aside for hymn practice. Sister Basquiat has Takasaki sit back down, then starts explaining the meaning of the Ave Maria to the class. She calmly repeats the bitter words I threw at her when we first met. At my retort, she simply stares at me with that irritated expression of hers. Shirahane nods and the president looks over at her restlessly. Is it out of concern for Shirahane or is she warning us to stop whispering? Or is it both? The twins nod in unison as though what they're saying makes complete sense. It does make complete sense, though.
まゆりさんの方が良いと思いましたけどね。はあ、確かにあの聖母祭での成果は凄みがあったよね。
Ooh. As soon as they've spoken, both girls look like they wish they hadn't.
失言だな。
Of course, it's because Shirahana's here too. They just had to go and bring up her amitié partner who disappeared. No, her girlfriend who disappeared. Usually the press would smooth over this kind of awkwardness, but as we're in class, she hesitates to speak up.
そのまゆりという人は誰？
Ha. Takasaki, who hasn't tuned into the mood at all, beats her to it. The other transfer students are also stealing curious glances our way at the mention of this unfamiliar name.
そのゆりまゆりという名前ではない。それは。
At a loss, the twins both look to Shirahane, which Takasaki also notices.
白羽さんはまゆりという人を知っている。
She turns to Shirahane. Complex mix of emotions cross Shirahane's face in that moment. Shame, bewilderment, and barely suppressed pain. She puts her hand to her chest and falls silent.
あなたが知っているのでしょ？誰なのかしら？
Someone you're not gonna meet because she's not in this game. Easy peasy.
高坂まゆりさんは私のアミティエで。そうなの？それで。
Shirahane has her hand clasped to her chest. She's clearly struggling with some painful feelings.
You're upsetting Shirahane.
I know it's not like me, but
はい。
for some reason my body moves of its own accord.
何？
I grab hold of Takasaki's arm.
白羽が困っているだろ。
These unusually considerate words slip from my mouth.
エリカさん、別に困らせるようなことはしていないわ。ただ人を訪ねているだけ。お前にとっちゃそうだが、人には事情ってものがあるんだよ。
Also, you guys are still in class. You've been whispering for quite a bit. I frown.
こいつは友人じゃないが処置仲間なんでね。仲間の事情にズカズカ入らないでくれるか。矢吹ちゃん。
For some reason, the twins are looking at me as though overcome with emotion. Takasaki doesn't seem to care and brushes my hand away.
事情があるなら教えてほしいだけ。高坂まゆりの事情って何なの？
She bears down on Shirahane as I move to
そ
stop
こまで
her.
よ。
A quiet but decisive voice emanates out from behind Takasaki.
今は授業中よ、高崎さん。ええ、そうね。なら、あなたは真面目に聞いていればいい。
What is her problem? Her words make it quite clear that she's taking no notice, but the president gives her an uncharacteristically angry glare.
私は授業中だと言ったの。あなたも含まれるわ。雑談は後回しにして。おかしな人ね。ああ。もしかして触れてはいけない話題だったの？そう。もしかして個人とか？
Her disappearance, the simple fact of not being able to see her again, has a similar implication, but... The president balls her hands up into fists to hold back her rage as an angry flush works its way up her neck.
あら、その顔。彼女はやめたわ。そう。なら早くそう言えばいいのに。
Ignoring Hanabishi's glare, Takasaki turns her annoyed gaze back to Shirahane.
ただやめただけだというのに。おかしな人。
She mutters this like it's nothing.
そうですよね。
Shirahane purses her lips, tears welling up in her eyes. She tries to hold them back, but unable to stem the swell of emotion, she is left helpless as a single tear leaks from her eye and makes its way down her cheek.
今の言葉を取り消して。
Oh boy.
何を？取り消しなさい！
She's no longer making any effort to lower her voice, and her shouting interrupts Sister Basquiat's lecture. All eyes in the class turn to us.
泣いている白羽に怒っている花火師。こいつは
It must be obvious to everyone what's happened. Hanabishi glaring protectively over Shirahane is the picture of righteousness. Naturally, her classmates' reproachful stare has fallen Takasaki.
こっちはこっちでわかりやすいしな。
She's probably just confused, but the way she narrows her eyes as she looks at Hanabishi makes it seem like she's glaring right back. And if that's how it looks to me, our classmates will surely take it the same way.
何かあったのかしら？
Sister Basquiat addresses the two of them, her expression as nun-like as ever. Needless to say, though, she's getting nothing from Takasaki, and Hanabishi is too emotional to speak up.
八重垣さん、
Sister Basquiat pushes me for an explanation. Give a fair account.
高崎が歌ったアベマリアからクラスで誰が一番歌がうまいかって話になりまして。
ええ、それで？
話の流れから聖母祭での高坂の話になったんです。
Sister Basquiat makes a pained expression. She seems to have guessed the gist of it from what I've said so far.
高崎は高坂のことを知らなかったので、高坂の話を白羽に尋ねて、それで。
そうですか。
Sister Basquiat clasps my hand and whispers a thank you into my ear.
事情はわかりました。お互いに少しの行き違いからことが大きくなってしまった。ですから互いに許し合いましょう。
許すも何も私には意味がわかりません。
Oh my god.
あなたね。
Apologize. Hanabishi's on the verge of exploding with anger again, but a commanding voice causes the two of them to straighten up. Sister Basquiat looms over them, clearly not about to take no for an answer.
声を荒げて悪かったわ。いえ、私も。
Each of them faintly offers their own hollow apology.
寛容は美徳です。許すということは人にしかできません。
Sister Basquiat starts lecturing in a sing-song voice, a hand to her chest. She seems to think it's overdone with, but
おう、引きそうだな、こいつは。
it's not like either of their apologies had been sincere, not Takasaki's nor the president's. I can tell that the embers are still smoldering among our classmates too, even if any trace of it is faint now. The only one who doesn't realize is Sister Basquiat is still moralizing obliviously.
お互いに許し合いましたが、聖堂内でのいさかいには罰を与えなければなりません。
Oh, really? No.
罰って、あまりひどい罰は。
花火師さんは今日から1週間の間、私と共に温室での作業を手伝ってもらいます。
The Sakasaki twins let out exaggerated sighs of relief at the unexpectedly lenient punishment. At least they seem to understand that all of this started because of them.
そして高崎さんには、そうね、そうだわ。
She's not good with the
飼育
animals
係
though.
をしてもらおうかしら。
飼育係ですか？何を？
知っているかしら。温室の少し外れにウサギ小屋があるのを。
はい、学院の案内で。
そう、少し前に子ウサギが生まれたそうなの。生まれてすぐの動物は間違いが起こりやすいから、
Oh
面
boy.
倒見てほしいのよ。
わかりました。
Her reluctance is plainly written on her face. I can't help but giggle, and my gaze meets Sister Basquiat's.
アミティエなのだから、八重垣さんも高崎さんと一緒に面倒を見てくださいね。
This is totally out of left field, and for a moment I'm really taken aback. I look between Takasaki and Sister Basquiat.
おい、冗談だろ。
If we have joint liability by virtue of being amitié partners, then why doesn't Shirahana have to take the president's punishment along with her? Although maybe it's better if I play up the fact that I'm confined to a wheelchair and can't really help out with much. My amitié partner has come over to stand beside me at some point, her expression despondent. Shirahana's eyes are swollen, the Sasaki sisters are watching us restlessly. I glance at the president, whose braids are still bristling with anger. My shoulders slump as I swallow my words.
ねえ、なんだ。怒鳴られたわ。
My amitié partner's got her head cocked to one side. She still doesn't understand.
そりゃそうだ。なんでよ。な、いきなり急所を殴られたら、ガンジーだって反射的に殴り返すだろうがよ。殴ってないわ。心の急所だよ。気づけバカ。
Despite my attempt to explain it in plain terms, she still doesn't seem satisfied.
大変
ですね。
One of the Sasaki sisters, overhearing our conversation, expresses her sympathy. I'm honestly grateful to an extent that surprises even me.
嬉しいよ。ハグしてくれ。
Oh! She blinks at my unexpected banter and then hugs me tightly as though in consolation. I mean, that's nice. You tell someone, like, hey, give me a hug, and they actually give you a hug. That's good. Water.
水って、水を持ってこいって意味か。それ以外にどう聞こえるの？
I don't know. She fires back at me coldly.
こんなにウサギの世話が面倒だとは思わなかったよ。
I mutter under my breath. 1 week earlier, and since you are her amitié partner, Miss Yagaki, you will join Miss Takasaki in looking after them. And Sister Basquiat's orders had ended up taking care of the newborn bunnies. Ooh, with some nice new artwork. Oh,
Thank you for the
早く持ってき
time
な
and
さい。
the pet and the posture check. Thank you. I shall also be saving my game. Okay. I have saved my game. And a sip. Maybe 2, maybe 3.
I have some chocolate milk tonight, actually. It's already mixed. It's already mixed. You just have to shake it before you drink it. I like it sometimes. Ugh. A strict diet of iced tea. That's an interesting diet. Takasaki's arms are laden with hay to feed them. She gazes with her chin toward the tap located halfway between the rabbit pen and the greenhouse. I pull a face at the dirt track. It's tough going for the rubber wheels of my chair. Rubber! The rubber wheels! Aha!
それぞれ役割ってのがあるだろ。私は頭、お前は手足だ。暑さで頭がダメになったの？
Yes.
水を汲んだじょうろをどうやって持ってくるんだよ。膝の上に乗せてか。制服が濡れちまうよ。あなた。
She's about to say something but merely sighs.
本当に役立たずね。
Sure am. She spits out the words and puts down the hay, picks up the watering can and stalks off to go fill it. Meanwhile, I pick up the bundle of hay left beside the entrance, open the door and offer it to the mother rabbit. She stares up at me curiously.
ま、クラスメイトの連中が用もないのに遊びに来るくらいには愛らしいか。
In addition to the Sasaki sisters and Shirahane, some of our other classmates come to play with the rabbits under the guise of magnanimity. They don't do too much to help out, but it does seem like they at least feed them their hay.
なんだか寝ている以外はずっと食べてる感じだよ。
What a nice life. I can't help but smile at the sight of the rabbits munching eagerly on the hay. All of a sudden, the adult rabbits shrink back in surprise.
なんだよ。取って食おうってわけじゃないぞ。
They've stopped eating and are eyeing me warily, perhaps fearful of that smile that people tell me resembles a cat's. Looking after these guys really is.
佐々木姉妹や白羽あたりが適任だと思うんだけどな。
In the week since we were ordered to take care of the rabbits, my classmates, the Sasaki sisters and Shirahane, have come to see us most
委
days.
員長は来やしなかったが。
Perhaps it's still hard for her to show her face after the quarrel with Takasaki, even though Shirahane is happy to. And it's not just while we were here with the rabbits that she's been avoiding her. It's the same in all areas of school life. She's gallantly doing everything she can for the other new transfer students, but not Takasaki. It seems that right now both of them have simply decided not to get involved with the other.
ま、なるようにしかならないよな。
I mean, to be fair, you do not have to be friends with absolutely everyone. The mood in class is becoming slightly uncomfortable, but if things get too bad, I can just stop bothering to attend. That'd be no great loss on my
どいて。
end. The one word descends on me like a slush of ice water, and I hunch my shoulders and move away from the door to the pen.
逃げ出さないよう見張っていてよ。
Before I can even answer, she's gone through the wooden door and inside. She obviously thinks that with the door left open, the rabbits might make a break for it. Once she's done pouring the water from the full can into the drinking bowl, the rabbits crowd around and start sipping from it eagerly.
ウサギって水を飲んだら死ぬって噂があったよな。そうなの？こんなに美味しそうに飲んでいるじゃない。いや、野菜の水分だけで十分だとかなんとか。実際買わなくちゃわからないことってあるよな。
Maybe it depends on the season, but it seems like they do need more water than I thought. I watched the rabbits lap at it with their little tongues.
それとちょっと前に寂しいと死ぬみたいな話もあったよな。待って。
She grimaces at my words and steps outside and picks up the book she'd left in a wheelbarrow and flips through the pages.
ほう、なんだ、自分ノートですか。あなた、目も悪かったのね。
After this code response, all I can hear for a while is the whisper of the pages being turned.
寂しいと死ぬだなんて書いてないじゃない。多分専門書には書いてないと思うぜ。
We'd taken on this job reluctantly, or at least I had, and I thought Takasaki had felt the same, but unexpectedly, my amitié partner has dug up a textbook on rabbit care from the library and has really thrown herself into the task of caring for them.
しかし、うちの学院にその手の本置いてあったんだな。確かに実用書の類もあったけど、もっと硬いやつばっかりだったしさ。探すのにかなり手間がかかったわ。白羽さんも一緒でないと。
Well, Sue probably knows the entire library. Takasaki's eyes are still glued to the page.
白羽に探すのを手伝ってもらったのかよ。
I suddenly screeched this out.
言っている意味がわからないわ。白羽さんは図書委員なのでしょ？
It is! な
ら、図書のピックアップを手伝うのは仕事のうちじゃない。空気が読めないやつってのは得だよな。何？いや、白羽に頼んだのなら合点が言ったよ。
My bookworm body is like the sprite of the library. I bet she can find books in there that are like needles in a haystack to anyone else.
まだ自分ではご飯は食べられないのね。
Takasaki goes back into the pen with the book. From the flow of the conversation, I take it she's observing the baby bunnies. She turns those irritated eyes of hers on the objects of her care.
もしかしてこの専門書が正しいのなら今は生後10日あたりね。毛は生え揃い、ウサギらしくなってくる。
Put aside any questions at her weird turn of phrase, though I have half an urge to ask her what the hell a rabbit that doesn't look like a rabbit actually looks like.
ま、確かに生まれたばかりはネズミの赤ちゃんかと思ったしな。ネズミ？あなた字も読めないの？
She thrusts the book at me, her eyes serious despite my banter.
ここにそう書いてあるでしょ。近いって。
She leans over with the book half open, glaring as she points to a section headed growth stages. At this proximity, the scent of peaches, her delicate clavicle, and her defenseless chest start.
ねえ、話聞いているの？
No!
聞いてるよ。暑いから離れろ。
She steps back with a frown. I've broken out in a strange sweat, and as I cough to recover myself and address Takasaki, she shuts the book.
それで、あとどれくらい世話をすればいいんだ？どれくらいとは？いや、だからさ、ずっと世話するわけじゃないだろ。
Don't look so confused.
バスキや教諭が言ってただろ。生まれてすぐの動物は間違いが起こりやすいから面倒を見てほしい。だからある程度生体ってのか、手がかからなくなるくらいに成長したら世話しなくてもいいんじゃねえの？
She nods and flips through the pages again.
離乳期はおおよそ1ヶ月くらいだそうよ。1ヶ月か。そりゃ。
My first instinct is to say something cruel, but
ものによれば生体になるまで半年くらいかかるやつも。
thinking of it that way, I figure I'm prepared to put up with just 1 month of it.
まあ世話をするって言っても餌やりと水替えと掃除くらいだし面倒はない
You
か。
get to pet bunnies. Hello?
病気も気をつけなくちゃいけないわ。ウサギも病気とかするのかよ。中耳炎になったりとか。立派な耳してるもんな。
Takasaki won't go along with my jokes and just continues flipping through the book.
有名なところでは不正交合と猛禽症があるそうよ。有名って言っても飼ってないんだから聞いたことないっつ。
It's raining again. Oh, it's really coming down now. Thank you. Finally.
ウサギの歯はずっと伸び続けるのよ。だからかじるものを用意してあげないと噛み合わせが悪くなるのだって。へえ、サメみたいだな。
I wonder if the microphone would pick up the... Hold on. I need to know if the microphone would pick up the sound of the rain as when I open the window fully. I need to know. It does not. It does not pick up the sound of the rain. That's a little sad. We could have had some nice ambience that it would definitely not fit the mood of the you know, the summer sun. But that's nice. It's also still thundering. Yippee! Finally some fresh air.
あれは生え変わるのよ。
She responds conscientiously, then moves on to the next page.
猛禽症は毛づくろいした時に自分の毛を飲んでしまうことによって起こるの。毛の塊が胃の出口を塞いでしまい、お腹を壊すだけでなく、さまざまな疾患の原因となってしまうらしいわ。ああ、なんか前に見たことがあるな。
I wouldn't actually know how to take proper care of a rabbit either. I know enough about, like, I would like to assume I know a good deal about how to care for a cat. To an extent how to care for a dog, but every other animal is kind of beyond me.
猫は毛を自分で吐き出せるわ。あなた、微妙にずれた覚え方をしているのね。興味ないことはなるべく脳のストックに入れたくないんだよ。
It picks it up when I talk. Yeah, I'm guessing that's because of the the filter I have on though. So it's like, oh, when I'm talking, it recognizes there being microphone input. That's talking, and that's when the filters like stops me pushing down every other sound. Maybe. But that's good. That means I can open up the window without fear of like the outside noise actually getting picked up. That's nice. Because that means I can get some actual fresh air in here. I flash her a grin and she regards me distrustfully, just like the rabbits.
不正交合は硬いものを、猛禽症は食物繊維が多いものを与えればいいと書いてあるわ。どちらも干し草でいいらしいけど、他にも鼻風邪や目の病気も気をつけた方が良さそうね。
Just as I'm about to comment on her attentiveness. Oh, bless you. I hear a sneeze that seems almost orchestrated, and I stare at the rabbits whose ears are pointing straight up in surprise. I hear a familiar voice and notice the Sasaki sisters waving to me.
お前ら、手伝いに来たっていう建前を言うのはやめたんだな。そんなことないよ。お手伝いに。おい、今さら花粉症か？ウサギにうつすなよ。花粉症はうつらないよ。いちごねえなら頑張れば。
I'm not sure that's how it works.
困るわ。
The sisters hurriedly flap their hands at Takasaki's distinctly unamused look. Actually, the younger one's laughing.
ま、手伝ってくれるなら構わ。
Seeing my bookworm buddy smile gently at me, presumably having been dragged along here by the twins, I scratched at an eyebrow. We're going to die, you're going to die, I'm going to die, we're all going to die. Okay. A line from the movie Battleship randomly pops into my head. Why would such a disturbing line come to mind? Then...
いなくなってしまったなんて、そんな...
Oh no. When I return to the classroom from the dorms after lunch, I hear the tense voice of one of my acquaintances. Gone. Don't tell me there's been another disappearance.
どうした？何があった？八重垣ちゃん。
The youngest Sasaki sister turns and looks at me hesitantly, or rather, it looks like she's trying to choose her words carefully. Could it be?
おい、まさか高崎のやつやめたんじゃないだろう。え？だから消えたって。
The elder Sasaki sister dashes over almost barreling into me and vigorously thumbs her hand down on my shoulder.
どこにいるか知らない？
I guess that seals it. I barely hear the latter part of what she says.
高崎のやつ。
I mutter to myself.
高崎さん学院やめちゃうの？
There's been a misunderstanding here.
いや、いなくなったって。勝手に退学者扱いにしてもらっても困るわ。
From behind me comes a familiar voice, cool and pointed as ever. The knowledge that she hasn't gone, that she hasn't quit, makes me want to breathe a real sigh of relief. It's an odd feeling.
ようやく慣れてきた日常がまた変わるのが面倒なだけだ。
That's what I tell myself anyway.
何があったの？
The elder Sasaki sister answers Takasaki's question with a series of wild gesticulations.
あのね、ウサギがいなくなっちゃったんだよ。
Dun dun dun.
As soon as I hear that it's not a person who's missing, I immediately deflate. I feel like making a snarky comment.
いや、そうも言ってられない。
Do you entrust her with their care, and if they're gone?
ねえ、高崎さん、あなたちゃんと管理はしていたの？どういうこと？
You're not supposed to close it by yourself. I want fresh air in here. How dare you?
Woo!
Nice.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh no.
Woo! Never mind.
I cannot keep that open. Yeah. It is rain. It is rain. But also they yeah, no, they announced my god, what's the English word for that? Hold on. Hold on. Oh wow. Are you? Okay. It's just hurricane. Okay. The word is just hurricane. There's a hurricane warning out there. Also a warning for hail, so maybe we're finally getting that. It sure is raining already. Well, yeah, it's definitely a storm. That's for sure.
きちんと鍵はかけていたかということよ。
The in the classroom chills at the president's words. It's because she says it not so much like a question, but with a tone of accusation.
責任の所在になるよな。朝夕の食事の際に世話をしているわ。今朝も世話をしてきちんと鍵をかけてきた。本当なの？八重垣さん。
She addresses me imperiously and I respond. That's a pointless question.
あまり意味のない質問だぞ。
The words slip out before I can stop them.
意味がないってどういうこと？そう形式ばむのよ。飼育小屋の鍵は南京錠とかきちんとした施錠が必要なものじゃない。誰でも開けられる簡易錠だ。
The president nods, accepting my explanation.
で、ウサギがいないって見つけたのは。
The twins gingerly raised their hands.
ウサギは基本隠れているんだし、いないって言うからには飼育小屋の中に入って調べたんだろ。そうです。
They both nod. Debating whether or not the pen was locked is hardly a productive approach, and making that point seems to have swept away some of their doubts.
とにかく見てみなきゃ話にならない。とりあえず現場に行ってみようぜ。
Ooh. Let's go.
A small group of us head out. We cross the gardens and arrive at the rabbit's pen.
開けるわよ。
The rabbit setup still very much there because no one bothered to change up the CG. What? She checks that the door is locked, then opens the catch and goes inside. Although there are just a few of us here, the pen still isn't big enough for everyone to fit inside. It's the Sasaki twins who discovered that the rabbits were missing, Hanabishi, the class president, and Takasaki, who's under suspicion, and Sue Shirahane. You're not... No, you're not late. You would never be late. I take a position in front of the door, blocking it off. Shirahane is gazing at the adult rabbits, her eyes narrowed sadly. President, evidently holding back her anger toward Takasaki, is watching her amitié partner restlessly.
高崎に強く出たのも白羽絡みだろうしな。
And she'll also be aware that Shirahane had been soothing the pain of Mayuri Kosaka's disappearance by caring for the rabbits. That's probably why she got so emotional.
ちゃんと7はいるじゃない。
Takasaki does a quick head count, but the twins cry out in response.
親ウサギがいなくなったんじゃないんだってば。子ウサギだよ。
Why didn't you say that earlier?
5はいるはずが2羽しか見つからないのですよ。
This news hits me hard and I give the place a good scan myself. The face is pale. Shirahane and the president hurriedly search around in the dry hay. They got baby napped.
みんなも探して。
Bunny napped.
Yeah.
At her plea, those waiting outside also crowd into the pen. Maybe don't put that many people into the room. Oh, thank you for the non-binary. Thank you. Listen, I've been waiting for... Found one. I've been waiting for anyone to redeem a non-binary ever since we've been into this pen for the very first time. Oh. Here's one. Here's one baby bunny. I move back so as to not get in their way.
どうしてあんなに焦っているの？脅かすなよ。お前はかめるんだから探してこい。あれ以上は飼育小屋の中に入れないわ。それより私の質問に答えて。
She's staring at the president with a forward brow, apparently unable to understand the reason she's so flustered.
世話してたから分かってるだろうが、子ウサギはまだ満足に動けるような状態じゃなかっただろ。ええ、だから。
I cited her total inability to put two and two together.
これが親ウサギなら、鍵がかかってなかったから逃げ出した。で済むが、
They actually did get
ウサギが連れ立って逃げ出すわけがないだろ。
For some reason, Takasaki claps her hands together admiringly in response.
つまり、誰かが逃がしたと考えているのね。ま、持ち出したか。最悪。野犬にやられたとか想像しちまったんじゃねえの。
I'd secretly been holding on to the idea that they were still in the hay somewhere, but everyone's currently digging through it hurriedly. And judging from how frantic the president is, I don't think they're going to find them here.
さすがにこれだけの数で探していないんじゃ。
I imagine that no one wants to give up hope in front of Shirahane, but the end of our lunch break is fast approaching. After searching for a while, the president calls out to the others and exits the pen. Her expression is grim.
ダメね。どこにもいない。でしょ？私の言った通りだったよね。ええ。
Twins seem to have taken the hint from the president's gloomy demeanor. They brace themselves, but keep their mouths shut. The silence stretches on.
高崎さん、今朝世話をしてからこの飼育小屋へは来ていないわよね。ええ、それが何？おいおいおい。
It isn't like her to arbitrarily pin the blame like this. Her words are pregnant with the implication that Takasaki might secretly have unlocked the door. No, that she might have taken the baby rabbits away herself. Her highly suspicious tone obviously got through to our classmates as they all sat staring at Takasaki and me.
高崎がどうとかよりも
Who'd have thought it would feel this dreadful to be suspected without any basis for something you have absolutely no knowledge of?
花火師があれだけ憤っていたのも今ならわかる気がするぜ。
I don't care if people don't like me. I'm a misanthrope after all. Misanthrope? I have a feel. Oh, hold on. I want to know.
Misanthrope.
Well, that was close enough, I guess. For once in my fucking life. I'm not so selfish as to crave affection from people I myself dislike. However,
本当に高崎さんがもともと押し付けられた役だもの。
hearing the whispers of my
なあ、
classmates.
委員長。
何八重垣さん。
別に責任を感じたわけじゃないが。
No, it's not that the dirty looks from my classmates are pissing me off. It's that the despondent expression of hers hovering behind the rest of them. Shiro may get the wrong impression of me the moment I consider that my blood starts to
こ
boil.
んなつまらない真似をするやつだと思われたくない。
I'm angry.
この子ウサギが消えちまった件、私に預けてくれないか。
八重垣さんが犯人を探すというの？
I nod in response to a question.
今回は私が知らせる。
Yeah, because this time you're the main character.
Well, not so much main character. The main character for this entire series is still very much Suho, but some other characters get to play a bigger role. Depending on what game it is, that's nice. It's quite a declaration. It is, it is. Woo! I wonder if we can finish this part today. That would be nice. I know I'm flying too close to the sun here and may get burnt. It's a silly hope of mine. I'm sure it's doomed to fall flat. Well, perhaps not silly, but...
面倒な望みってのは確かだよな。
I muttered to myself as I gazed out through the open window at the blue moon. I declared in front of my classmates that I would handle the incident of the missing baby rabbits. To be honest, I'm not sure myself that it'll be possible to find them still. But the president, in fact all of my classmates, won't easily forgive me if I come back empty-handed. Speed reading, I guess. If I was speed reading this, nah, this is not speed reading. If someone is connected to the baby rabbit's disappearance, then I have to finger them as the culprit. Aha! Okay. If it was just an accident, then simply explaining the cause or what led to it would be an obvious compromise to reach for. But either way, identifying what happened is going to be quite a hassle. It's too late! The gloomy expression of hers. When I caught the shadow of despair in that look, I'd run my mouth off and said I'd settle things. What must have come over me in that moment? Yeah, here's the mystery! My doubts dispersed at the sound of a knock at the door.
どうぞ。
ごきげんよう、八重垣さん。お食事
It's
は
a
済んだかしら？
mystery, but not a murder mystery. And another wolf murder. No murder. No murder mystery. So Sherlock outfit. Sister Basquiat enters the room wearing her usual gentle expression. It soothes me in a moment of mild irritation to see her unchanged demeanor.
はい、もうすでに。
そう。あら、高崎さんは？
食器を下げに食堂へ。
Reminds me though, I definitely am going to play the Sonic murder game sometime soonish. I wanna know. Sister Basquiat tilts her head to one side as though dismayed at my answer.
そうなの。せっかくだからご一緒にと思ったけれど。それではお風呂に行きましょうか。
It's a puzzling thing for her to come out with, and as though I really am Shirahana, I instantly think of a line from a movie. It's Austin Powers' catchphrase, "Groovy baby, yeah!"
どうしたの、八重垣さん？
I feel beaten down by the sheer vexatiousness of everything, but I swallow my words and briefly shake my head. It's a nice little game,
き
yeah!
っと見つかるわ。
Sister Basquiat suddenly says,
知っているんですか？
My eyes meet Sister Basquiat's, and then as she carefully washes my legs, I travel down to her voluptuous chest. 2 mounts sway beneath her bath towel, she strokes up and down. Like a cat, I follow the motion with my eyes.
佐々木さんが教えてくれたわ。
I mean, I get it. I also think she's cat-like, but... Damn it. Although I'm used to this degree of care by now, recently there have been moments when I've become strangely hyper-aware of it.
羨ましいってだけだろうが。
I glance down at my own meager chest and sigh.
そうですか。
I'm not in response.
バスキア教諭から注意していてくれと頼まれていたのに、申し訳ありません。
話は佐々木さんたちから聞いたと言ったでしょ。誰が悪いということでもないわ。
It doesn't seem like she intends to scold me.
そうですが。
花火師さんに自分が見つけ出すと言ったのよね。
はい。
私はね、その言葉を聞いて感動したの。
は？
花火師さんと高崎さんが堅牢な雰囲気になって、それを止めるために見つけてみせると言ったのですよ。
Hi TK, good evening.
アミティエ選考試験での結果は間違ってはいなかったのね。高崎さんのために身を挺してかばえるだなんて。
That's not technically why we're doing it.
それは。
はい。
She gazes at me with a bright, amiable smile. I really don't have the heart to be mean to her.
真ん中の姉に似てるんだよ。
The personalities are poles apart, but the way they have of talking you into things or overriding what you say is kind of the same. I heave my upteen sigh of the day.
でもアミティエを二人で探すのでしょ。これを機会にもっと仲良くなれれば良いですね。
いえ、多分私一人で探すことになると思います。
The topic hadn't arisen after we'd returned to our room, nor during dinner.
それは
She probably wants to know why. She looks restlessly into my eyes. Seeing the unease clouding these golden eyes of hers, I chose the words I'm sure she wants to hear.
委員長には私に
I
預
said
け
like
てく
half
れ
the
ない
words in
か
that sentence wrong.
と頼んできたんです。だからアミティエの手を借りるのは少し違う気がしまして。
そうですか。でも危ないわ。
いや、危険な場所には行けやしませんよ。
でも探すとしたら
Her beautiful brows furrow as she thinks of the deep forest encircling the academy. I greet this maternal concern of hers with a wry smile.
それじゃバスキア教諭がついてきてくださいよ。
I can't help myself. She blinks at me and I'm about to tell her that I'm just joking when... She claps her hands together, her cheeks flushed.
そうだわ。八重垣さんの頼みですもの。私も子ウサギを探す件お手伝いします。
I wonder if she... Like, if Dahlia really doesn't know what happened to the rabbits. Like, she's so calm about it. Like, as a teacher, I would... If I didn't know what happened to the rabbits, I would be like, oh god. How hard can it be for a few teenagers to, like, take care of a few rabbits and now 2 of them are gone? Doesn't she already know what happened? She says.
いや、
不謹慎だけれどワクワクしますね。ねえ八重垣さん。
She's beaming at me like a little
お
girl.
願いします。
I have no choice but to answer like that. I feel like she might already know.
それでは参りましょう。
The early summer breeze ruffles the flowers and the smiling Sister Basquiat bangs.
昨日のついてくるって話。
Basquiat's bangs. No, I knew from the get-go that she wasn't the kind of person to make jokes. It's been like pulling teeth, but I've been gathering bits of information here and there between classes. And then Sister Basquiat had come up to me with a broad smile on her face, just as I was about to leave the classroom after the last lesson of the day and launch into my full-scale investigation.
それでどこを調べるの八重垣さん。
そうですね。
Only a moment ago, she'd been talking like she had a destination in mind. I sigh surreptitiously.
とりあえず第一発見者に話を聞いてみようと思います。
I tell her. Alright. Our interviewee starts speaking a little hesitantly.
それでコウサギさんがいなくなった時のことを話せばいいんだよね。
Yes. The eldest Sasaki sister looks nervously at me. No, at Sister Basquiat who's smiling beside me.
ああ、あの時はただいないって騒いだだけだからな。 細かく教えてくれ。
わかったよ。一つ質問していい？
ダメだ。私もなんでこうなっているか説明しにくい。お互いさっさと済ませようぜ。
Looking at the smiling sister Basquiat, she seems to have gotten the hint. Sasaki beckons to her sister, who's been hanging back and watching, and whispers something to her.
了解ですよ。私としても早く見つけてほしいですからね。では、いないと分かった時のことを話します。
Oh.
昨日の朝、いちご姉はウサギのお世話に行くことができたのですが、私はできませんでしたので、お昼はいちご姉よりも早く食事をし終え、お世話をしに向かったのです。
You mean go play with them? I'm tempted to interject, but faced with the seriousness of Sister Basquiat and the elder Sasaki sister, I listen quietly and urge her on.
急いで昼食をとってから向かったので、飼育小屋には私以外まだ誰もいませんでした。あら？その言い方だと他の生徒もよく来ているように聞こえるわ。
That's because they do.
その捉え方で合っていますよ。佐々木姉妹だけじゃなく、クラスメイトたちが様子を見にちょくちょく来ていましたからね。
そうなの。
Mm-hmm. Sister Basquiat tilts her head slightly. Probably curious about her demeanor, the younger Sasaki sister butts in.
何か気になるんですか？以前、飼育小屋のあたりを巡回していても、クラスの皆さんはあまり見かけたことがなかったので。それは今まで2年生が担当だったからですよ。はい？うさぎさんがいることは知っていたんですけど、2年生の人たちが世話をしていると聞いて言い方は悪いですけど、萎縮していたんです。知っている部の先輩ならいいですけど、違う場合は怒られるかもって。それで
So you ended up not going at all. She meets my eyes.
罰則で八重垣ちゃんたちが担当になったので、敷居が低くなったと言いますか。
So an unknown upperclassman represents a greater hurdle than an eccentric like me. Sister Basquiat's head is still tilted to one side in curiosity. Perhaps she doesn't understand the sentiment.
脱線したな。続けてくれ。
はい。うさぎさんたちの食事がまだだったので、飼育小屋の隣にある干し草を抱えて中へ入ってうさぎさんたちの相手をしていると、私が来たってわけ。そこで世話をしていたら、あれって。
頭数が少ないってことに気づいたのか。
4羽いるはずなのに2羽しかいなくて、だから探していたんだけど見つからないので、これはおかしいと。
で、教室に駆け込んできたってわけか。
They both nod. I look across to Sister Basquiat, whose brow is intensely furrowed.
いえ、ただ生まれた子ウサギが4羽だったんだなって。
She asked me to take on the job without knowing any of the details? Although I can't help but think.
これは世話してるからこそ把握してるってやつか。
Okay, maybe she actually does not know what happened to the rabbits. To be honest, if I hadn't been involved in that myself, I'd probably have heard that some baby rabbits had been born, but I doubt that I found out how many unless I stuck my nose in further.
他には？
She asks me.
実はお前たちも独自で子ウサギの件を調べてるって聞いたんだが。
Oh? She's at a total loss for words. You've been found out, Missy.
独自情報を持っていたら提供してもらいたいんだ。頼む。
でも。
Knowing the Sasaki sisters, they were sure to be sticking their noses into the matter. It had been a trick question, and it appears to have succeeded in drawing the truth on them. I stare hard into her eyes.
お願い、佐々木さん。
Sister Basquiat also bows her head.
おかしいな。
Usually, if she had any information on her own, she'd share it boastfully. But the fact that she can't talk about it means...
すみません、バスキア教諭。この後現場を見て回るときに使おうと思っていた道具を忘れてしまったんです。
Mom!
私のカバンの中に入っているのですが、取ってきてもらえますか？
わかったわ。なんだか探偵の助手みたい
Well,
で
at
す
least
ね。
one person here is having a lot of fun. She smiles brightly. In contrast, the Sasaki sisters' expressions are tense. This isn't what I signed up for, I think to myself. It's okay.
まずは現場を探してみようという
The
ことです
scene
ね。
of the crime! You're so funny. With a sideways glance at the strangely excited Sister Basquiat, I surveyed the rabbit one.
ここまで来て網に穴が開いてるとかだったら笑うんだが。
八重垣さん？
Mm-hmm.
いえ、野犬が襲ったって可能性もありますからね。
Sister Basquiat pushing me around, I used the magnifying glass from the bag she brought me to examine the enclosure carefully.
しかし、予想通りだったな。
Daddy reliving her youth by creating a mystery to make the girls grow more smart. I like her. She's a really nice character. I like her a lot. From the twins' reluctance to talk, I'd figured that it was either out of consideration for a friend, or that it was something they found difficult to say in front of either me or Sister Basquiat. Looks like I was right.
まさか、バスキア教諭に疑いがかかっているってのは予想外だったよな。
Oh. When I'd noticed their expression stiffen at the sight of her, I'd wondered if perhaps there was something they couldn't say in front of her, but I'd never have imagined that they considered her suspect in the baby bunny's disappearance.
とは言っても。つまりお前たちは、子ウサギがあんまり可愛いから、誰か実質へ
That
持
would
っ
be
て
an
帰って
extremely
たと考えた
irresponsible move, and
わ
I
けだ
don't think
な。
we have anyone who would do that, actually.
連れて行ってひどいことをするような人はいないだろうし、
It's always a
だから
J.
ついお部屋へ連れ帰っちゃったんじゃないかなって思った
It's
の。
always a J that gets weirdly cut off in this with this font. Why is that?
変質者がストレス発散でってとか思わなかったのか？
On the other hand, I
よく聞
feel
か
like
れ
there's
ましたら
surprisingly little words that have a J in them in the first place in English.
人里離れている場所ですし、この学院の生徒で
Good
そん
evening.
な悪さをする人はいないですよ。
How are you?
だから私的に聞いて回ったんだ。
Really?
見つからなかっただろ。
です。
Of course they didn't. Even if they did come across the person hiding them, no one would be idiotic enough to admit to being the culprit just like that.
でもね、リンゴが尋ね方を変えようって言ったんだ。絶対に部屋に入れてくれない生徒っているって。
With a cup of Earl Grey tea? Oh, nice. We're playing detectives. Seems like the younger one's got some smarts.
それで話を聞いていくうちに生徒じゃなく。
バスキア教諭が絶対に部屋を見せな
I
い
mean,
って
she
噂に
is a
気づいた。
teacher. I wouldn't want the students in my room as a teacher either.
そう、ダリア先生なら部屋に招いて競技の話だとかしそうなのにおかしくない？
ま、確かにやりそうな感じはするわな。
It's such a believable scenario, I immediately start picturing it myself. The younger Sasaki twins The younger Sasaki twin looks around before bringing her lips close to my ear.
それと噂ですけどね、ダリア先生の部屋の前で羊の鳴き声を聞いた生徒がいるらしいのですよ。
つまり、ウサギと言わずバスキア教諭は動物好きで部屋に引っ張り込んでるって話か？
信じるか信じないかは八重垣ちゃん次第ですよ。
妙なセリフで締めるのは構わないけどな。 この話
Kiss are you fool?
他の
Oh
生徒たちに広めて
no,
ないよな
these two do not. No. No.
嫌ですね。そうだよ。 信用してよ、
She's got
山
an
崎ちゃ
actual
ん。
zoo in her room. The twins are not romanceable characters this game. I can't help but sigh at how absurdly misguided the path they're headed down is.
破損した箇所はないようですね。
Sure it does. Sister Basquiat speaks right into my ear and I put the conversation at the cooking club to one side, nodding my agreement with her. Incest is wincest, I guess. Just kidding, of course. Oh, I cannot wait for you to be around for game 3.
穴が開いてたり
I mean,
破
what?
損している箇所はなさそうだ
ええ。
She nods and I suddenly have the urge to interrogate her. However,
あなたが犯人ですかなんて高崎みたいな真似はできないしな
you could. And personally, I imagine that even if she did take them home with her out of a love for animals, she'd probably come clean to everyone straight away and apologize, judging by her personality. No.
もしかしたら言えない理由でも
何の理由ですか？
Sister Basquiat overhears my murmurings and I gloss over it with a vague smile.
面倒だな
Thank you for the save.
It's a bit late for it now, but I sympathize with Shirahane, who's already solved several mysteries like this. She did a good job to investigate all of them without once giving up.
何かわかりましたか？
先ほどの佐々木姉妹の証言から私たちが世話をした朝7時半から昼食を終えた佐々木妹が訪れた12時半頃までこの間に子ウサギが消えたということになりますが
That's a pretty big time frame. Actually though, most of that time frame was during class. So I really doubt it's someone else. I really doubt it's another student because how would they be able to move around?
ほぼ午前中の間の時間すべてですか？
Implicit in her troubled look is a concern that it'll be difficult to narrow down the culprit based on a time frame.
そうです。学者からこの飼育小屋に向かうなら中庭を通らなければいけ
I'm
ま
not
せん
gonna
よ
root for doing
ね。
the right choices would be nice. Well, the investigation, these parts are investigation parts. When you have to clear up the mystery, the only thing you get for getting those wrong is a bad ending, where everyone kind of loses faith in you. It's like dun dun dun, and then it's a bad ending. The big root differences is just how you act towards the two romanceable characters. And depending on whether you have played through the other endings before or not in this specific game, which I've done. So we're gonna see the true end, like I said earlier. But that's the most differences. You don't really get anything for getting the mysteries wrong. It's a bad ending. It's like, oh, okay. Back you are. Welcome
そう
back.
ですが何か
昨日は庭師の方が中庭の剪定をなさっていたのです。
Oh, you think someone might have
一日
seen?
中作業していたそうですから。
午前中誰が通ったか
Quite peculiar for getting the good
絞れ
ending?
る
Why? Or how, I guess. She nods, clasping her hands together in joy. It's certainly an effective screening method.
お手柄ですね
そう
Yeah.
お役に立てたかしら？
Yeah.
ええ
You get a good ending, do you find out the little claws behind it all? Who's Dr. Claw? You know when you don't get the good ending first try? Ah, I see. One of those. She takes hold of my hand, her cheeks flushed.
よかった。
She murmurs her contentment as she leans in close. Her rich, womanly scent wafts over me. What the fuck is a womanly scent? I keep asking myself this every time. I'm conscious of her in a way I might be of someone of the opposite sex. I start to sweat.
風呂場じゃないって
Yeah, you're just gay. Happy Pride Month, Erica! As she crouches down so as to be at eye level with me, her knees lift a full breast. I don't quite know where to look. I'm not Shirahane. I think of Shirahane who'd been dating Mayuri Kosaka, the girl who disappeared in the spring. A vision of her face pops into my head and my flushed body calms, then I suddenly hear a cute little sneeze and find myself staring right into Sister Basquiat's face.
私ではないですよ。
Oh, no, I've never seen a Spectre Gadget, no.
いや、別に恥ずかしがることじゃないでしょ。
Yeah, it's always a
生
J.
理現象ですし。
I think there's something wrong with the J in this
本当に違います。
font. I can't help but reflect on how cute Sister Basquiat looks with her bright red face. And then I'm embarrassed with myself for thinking it.
年上に可愛いってどうよ。
Then I hear the sneeze again.
お、
あら？
We both look at one another. Since each of us is looking the other in the eye, who might have sneezed?
まさか森をさまようウェンディゴとか言わないだろうな。
Gadget.
After staring in the direction the sneeze had come from for a moment, I spot one of the rabbits snuffling.
先生。
いえ、ごめんなさい。ウサギもくしゃみをするのだなって。
She covers her mouth with her hand as she continues to giggle uncontrollably. I suppose it's the first time I've heard a rabbit sneeze myself. Gazing at a snuffling rabbit, I feel something tugging at the corner of my mind. Something important.
八重垣さん、どうしたの？怖い顔して。
なんでもありません。先生、その庭師の方に話を聞きたいのですけど。
あ、そうね。
Rabbit sneezing, yeah. She smiles and clasps her hands together, overjoyed to recall my praise of her idea. Again, the vibe she's giving off reminds me of my second older sister. Usually it would bring to mind thoughts of home, which I don't particularly miss. However...
なんとか落としどころを見つけられそうではある。
Thank you for the non-binary. And thank you for the pat.
Verified that the answer which has been nagging at me, the solution I've cobbled together, is correct. The culprit that the president told me to find. If my guess is right, it's a decent solution which could also serve as a form of payback. But it might have unintended consequences.
それでは行きましょうか。
As Sister Basquiat pushes my wheelchair along, I look up at the high columns of cloud, forever with rain. Now I wonder how I should broach it with them.
Thank you for the idle time.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if the next thing is immediately the investigation part.
Yeah.
Okay, let's clear it up then. I was like, I'm gonna go a little. I can go for a little longer and clear it up. Fine. I should read that out as well. The day after I've deduced who the culprit is. I'm pushing my wheelchair along while enduring the grumblings of my empty stomach. It's the hungriest time of the day, the period just before lunch. Next we have Bible study.
ちょうどいい時間がこの時間だったからしょうがないけどな。
I murmur to myself, making my way to the chapel. Still, it's annoying when I have a hard task ahead of me Still, it's annoying when I have a hard task ahead of me to have to face it on an empty stomach. I pass through the entrance hall and exit the school building. The midday sun is shining down hard and bright on the surrounding greenery. As I'm gazing at the school building, also glittering in the light, a thought suddenly occurs to me.
八代ゆずり派の事件を思い出すな。
Although it seems like such a long time ago, it hasn't even been a month since the Yatsushida incident. With a deep sigh, I reflect on how similar the situation I'm in now is to that earlier occurrence. I recall my bookworm buddy stepping up in front of everyone despite her shyness in order to clear her friend's name. I smile that feline smile of mine again.
さて、本番に入る前に一つリハーサルといくかね。
Let's go. First things first, how did the incident begin? I can't reveal the solution to the case before my classmates without defining this primary problem. Rather than looking for the truth, I'm focused on resolving this issue. But that makes it all the more necessary to ascertain what really happened. Was the disappearance of the rabbits an accident, or was it intentional? Oh man! Well, I already have all of my choices here. It was an accident. Right, in looking for some resolution to this case, an element of human error has to be assumed. Or rather, someone made a mistake by unknowingly giving a false report of the rabbit's disappearance. I have to call the person out and settle this once and for all. Who falsely reported the rabbit's disappearance? Going over the notes in my head, I think I need one more key detail to convince the others. The pain has to be doled out evenly. I have to dilute this deadly poison until it's a mild irritant that will at worst upset their stomachs. Which of these is connected to this disappearance of the rabbits? None of these.
ま、こんなところか。
Once I finished putting it all together in my head, I'd send a glare up at the midday sun, then set off for the chapel. The final note of Takasaki's rendition of the Ave Maria lingers in the air.
ありがとうございます、高崎さん。
Sister Basquiat says this just as she did before.
あの日の繰り返しみたいだな。
The day we were made to look after the rabbits, when Takasaki overheard mention of Mayuri Kosaka and kept on prying about her until things turned ugly. The difference is being. The strength of the applause and the way the looks directed her way have changed from ones of admiration to clear hostility. After a performance, Takasaki steps down from the chancel and returns to us, looking up at Sister Basquiat as the latter starts lecturing. It's that same haughty gaze.
こいつがさっさと打ち明けていたら。
I smile wryly, aware them taking her to task in my mind.
何を笑っているの？
Hi, good evening. What you doing?
笑っていない。笑っているんだよ。
How is that of any...
How is that any different? Look at me so gorgeous. Oh, should be illegal. No, they're gonna put me in jail.
They're gonna put me in jail for being cute.
Dun, dun, dun.
How are you? She frowns in incomprehension. Of course, it's a matter of nuance. She's not going to understand.
では、何か質問のある人はいま
Thank you
せ
for
ん
the
か？
pet.
A few students raise their hands, as do I.
嬉しいですね。それでは八重垣さん。
She's the epitome of virtue. I caught myself in time. I speak out in a clear voice, my hands still raised. Just eat
子ウ
dinner?
サギが消えた件が
Nice.
解決しましたので、ここで述べさせてもらってもいいですか？
After my declaration, there's a brief silence. Then, Sister Basquiat's voice rings out in the chapel, more excited than usual.
静まりなさい。神の御前ですよ。
Ooh! The whispers had been feigned, but they're quelled completely by Sister Basquiat's decisive command.
子ウサギが見つかった
I
の？
was this close to saying epitome, yeah. I'm trying to get myself used to it, but honestly, I don't use the word much in day-to-day life, so it's like, no, I learned, I know. The president presses me, the reason she's so excited.
白羽。
She probably imagines that her amitié partner will find some relief in my report. Although the president shuts her mouth at Sister Basquiat's rebuke, her eyes remain on me, imploring me.
この場を借りて、事の次第を話してもよろしいでしょうか？
A rare frown mounts her face, and she glances up at the figure of Christ on the cross.
わかりました。
She nods. Hey, that's a new sprite. I wheel my chair into the space between where my classmates are seated and where Sister Basquiat is standing on the stage. I gaze out at the Sasaki twins, my bookworm buddy, Rika Hanabishi, Chidori Takasaki, the new transfer students, and all my other classmates who are looking at me half with animosity and half with curiosity, like I'm some interesting plaything.
そも
Who
そも
would you, right? Who would use it regularly?
そもそも、この事件に明確な犯人はいないんだ。
That's where I begin.
それってどういうこと？もしかして
If you guys would just let me in, keep talking without butting in, you would know sooner. Although Sasaki's suggestion causes a wave of muttering, it dies away when I spread my arms in a gesture of rebuttal.
飼育小屋で真相を明かすと約束してから、佐々木の言うように野犬の仕業
No,
か
we have to be
も
dramatic about
飼
it.
育小
Okay.
屋の周りを調べて
Of
回っ生徒ら、そしてこの学院に従事している者たちから、
何か分かったのね。
Ignoring the president's interjection, I tell them that we'll first look back on the events of the day the incident occurred. I relay the time frame I'd heard from the Sasaki sisters. My strange story, hardly fit for a church, echoes to the otherwise silent chapel.
おおよその流れは分かったわ。
Chapel.
朝世話をした八重垣さん
Why
た
do
ち
I have such trouble saying
そし
that?
て昼食後に様子を見に行った佐々木さんたち。つまり八重垣さんたちが世話をし終わった7時半過ぎから佐々木さんたちが行くまでの12時半までに
I give her a light clap as a sign of my gratitude for summing it all up. Eyes narrow slightly, perhaps in suspicion that I'm mocking her.
それってあの日午前中の間に飼育小屋に行った人が犯人だということ？
Everyone in the class uses their break time to go and play with the rabbits. It's only natural that they turn the suspicion on one another. However,
誰が言ったのかもう少し絞れそうなんだ。
どういうこと？
調べて回った結果分かったんだけどさ、ウサギが消えた日、学舎前の庭園で剪定に。
oh,
あ、そういえば確かに作業してたね。
my classmates nod excitedly. During lunch break, everyone tumbles out of the school building and crosses the gardens on their way to the rabbit pen. They probably have seen the gardener then.
つまりその庭師の人に聞けば誰が通ったかわかるし。すごいじゃない。これで一気に解決ね。
The president makes clear her excitement as another wave of murmuring rises. But looking at the glum expression on Shirahana's face, I shake my head slightly.
確かにあの日世話をしていたものから絞り込めるかもしれない。話通りならね。だがそいつは佐々木が話してくれた話が本当だという大前提のものだ。
私たちは嘘をついてなんかいないですよ。
Ignoring the twins' clamoring, I declared that the reason the baby rabbits disappeared is so simple as to be mundane.
単純ですか？
Sister Basquiat, who hasn't joined in the conversation until now, asks me this as she soothes the Sasakis.
はい。これは好意的な事件ではなく、野犬が起こした事件でもない。人が悪意なく起こした事故だったんですよ。
It's literally only the words with J. And there's not many words with a J.
ええ。ここにいるクラス
Also
メイ
some
ト
others
の大体
sometimes,
の
but
ものが
the J
飼育小屋へ
definitely
世話
gets
をしに
cut
来
off
てくれた。
completely.
だよな。
I look over to see her faces taking in a variety of expressions, from meek to suspicious, from those staring down at their feet to those glaring at me like I've upset them.
重度の人見知りの白羽がよく耐えたもんだ。
As I reflect on how often I end up in the minority, Shirahana pops into my head and I can't help but smile.
八重垣さん。
Filling with her braids, the president urges me on impatiently.
世話といっても大体のことは高崎と私で行っていたので、みんなは餌を干し草を飼育小屋の中へと持って行ってあげてた。それで間違いないよな。
My classmates nod their heads.
で、干し草を持って行ったみんなは全員が全員私が知っているだけでもこうごっそりと持ち運んでいった。
全員って
全員は全員だよ。別におかしいことはない。みんなは2年生が世話をしていた時は来なかった。私たちが世話をしてから来だしただろ。その時高崎が干し草をやっているのを見て、みんなああそういうものかって真似したのさ。
I demonstrate with a gesture and my classmates nod. There are some of them who aren't nodding, but they've probably cottoned on to what I've left unsaid so far. I look slowly over the assembled faces once more.
そして干し草をやる際に子ウサギが紛れた。
Then briefly stand still. Everyone is dumbfounded, and then after they've gotten over the moment of hesitation,
なんでそれっておかしくない？
they argue back, even though they know full well that it does.
です。紛れるなんてこと。だって飼育小屋の隣に置いてある干し草をあげてどうして？
言ったろ、単純なことなんだよ。高崎の餌のやり方を見てみんな真似をした。でもな、干し草が湿ると食いつきが悪くなるって言うんで、食べ残った干し草はまた飼育小屋の隣へと日干しさせてたんだよ。
何度も干し草を飼育小屋へ、余ったらその都度外に出して日干しさせる、繰り返していたことで子ウサギが紛れてしまったってこと？
ああ、あいつら大きくなったって言ってもまだ手のひらサイズだろ。湿った干し草を乾かすんだからごそっと奥からかき出して。 飼育小屋の隣へと干し草を移動した。
The good thing about me having played this game last in 2018 is that I don't remember nothing about the mysteries. Realizing that the rabbits are gone because of their own Everyone falls silent, their faces deathly pale.
もともと飼育小屋から干し草を持ち出し乾かしたのは高崎だか
I
ら。
knew how to say this once. If I were to try and pin blame, the fault is partially Takasaki's, but I can't bring myself to denounce her knowing that I'm also involved.
人が起こした事故。でも干し草を入れて出してを繰り返して起きた事故なら誰が起こしたかわかると思うわ。
Rika, stop trying to pin the blame on
子
one
ウサギ
person.
が消えた日の朝から午前中に飼育小屋へ行った生徒を割り出せばいいってことだろ。
そうよね。
Her elation quickly tapers off. Because, long story short, she's realized that her suggestion amounts to pointing out exactly who among us is responsible for this accident. She looks awkwardly up at Sister Basquiat standing there calm and composed. The latter regards me with her topaz eyes. Forcing a smile, I try to ease the tension.
ま、そこで佐々木が話したことが大前提になっている。朝から午前中での事故が間違いだって話をしていた。
ここは空気を読むところかもしれないですけど、やっぱり嘘は言ってないですよ。
I nod. The twins are looking at me in innocent confusion, having received a rather different response to the one they'd been expecting. Then, with a thrust of my chin, I indicate my métier partner. Despite being named as a prime suspect, she's acting like this has nothing to do with her.
嘘をついていたのはこいつ高崎千鳥だからな。
それって、もしかしてさっきの話なら世話をするのが面倒でわざと干し草に紛れさせて。
そんなひどい。
Takasaki staring hard at the point off to the side of me, neither confirming nor denying it. Hearing the hubbub start to grow, I remind everyone that I'd already said it was an accident.
こいつ高崎は嘘をついてたって自覚がなかったんだよ。そう思い込んでいただけなんだ。
ごめんなさい。私たちに分かるように言ってくださる？
嘘をついていたってのは大前提となった時間、朝7時半から正午12時半の間っていう消えてしまった時間だ。実際はウサギが消えたのは朝から正午ではなく。
Everyone, including the president and the Sasaki twins, turns to look at Takasaki, whose eyes have the same haughty look as ever.
それはその朝子ウサギがいたって証言が嘘で、もうその時にはいなかったってことだよね。
そうだ。
いたわ。
Takasaki glares at me and I let out a small sigh.
違うね。いたように見えた。
Facing Sister Basquiat up on stage, I announced to no one in particular what I myself only recently realized.
こいつは高崎千鳥はかなり目が悪いんだよ。
Perhaps she'd been expecting some grave confession because the president suddenly seems to deflate.
みんなもこいつずいぶん目つきが悪いやつだなって思ったことなかった。
You're telling me she just needs
なん
glasses?
ていうか睨むのが基本みたいなやつだって。
それはまあ。
At the president's words, everyone starts looking at one another and nodding as though they've been thinking the same thing all along. A constant haughty gaze.
私もそう思ったよ。とっつきにくいやつだなってさ。高崎、こいつが何本に見える？
I hold up my hand and raise some of my fingers. Takasaki glares. No, squints at them.
4本。
She says to the 3 fingers I'm holding up.
ま、こういうことだ。乱視だか遠視だか知らないけどな。こいつの言う板が信用できないのは分かっただろ？
It's not farsightedness if she cannot If she was farsighted, she would have had no trouble seeing something that is further away from her, Erica. So she has to be nearsighted for her to not realize how many fingers you're holding up. But okay, let's move on. Feeding her hearty eyes on me. No, that's not fair. Right now they indicate only a desire for the truth. I wheel away from the platform and back toward everyone.
目を細めていた？それじゃ思い違いをしていたってこと？
本人は嘘をついていたとは思っちゃいない。こいつは本当にそう思っていたんだ。
After my little monologue, a long silence descends on the chapel. After a while...
朝、確かにいたという発言が覆るのだとしたら、
もう誰が直接の犯人だとかは調べられないってことさ。
それは。
Yeah, but that's exactly what I mean. Distant objects, clearly objects nearby may be blurry. If you're trying to tell me that several meters away, seeing as Erika is like closer to the stage, and Takasaki being in the middle of all of the other people, that would be nearsightedness. Because the farther away something is, the clearer you can see it. Farsightedness is usually when, is usually what you get when you grow older as well. That's also why most people, when they grow old, start to need reading glasses, because when you try to read something, it's close and your eyes cannot focus on something that's close anymore. Listen, I may not know a lot of things, but whether I myself am near or far-sighted, I sure as hell know. And I'm nearsighted. So I know that what Erika just now said about her farsightedness, no, okay? Anything else? Sure. Not this one though.
その方がいいだろ。わかるよな、委員長。
Catching my meaning, she nods despite looking like she's just bitten into a lemon.
小ウサギを消してしまう原因を作った犯人はわからないままの方がいい。
Even if it was an accident, who could bear the guilt of being solely responsible for the possibility of their deaths?
だから全員の責任として罪を薄めればいい。
Having sensed my intentions, the president and Sister Basquiat nod, their eyes downturned. I let out a short deep sigh, relieved that this troublesome business is finally over, but then... Astigmatism. I do not know the proper... I know what it is, but I do not know how to explain it. Hold on. Why do I not get an English definition for it if I look for it in English? It's a type of refractive error due to a rotational asymmetry in the eye's refractive power. This results in distorted or blurred vision at any distance. Other symptoms can include eye strain, headaches, and trouble driving at night. Astigmatism often occurs at birth and can change or develop later in life. If it occurs in early life and is left untreated, it may result in amblyophonia. Now, astigmatism is usually just that no matter where you look, it's a little it's a little blurred and off. Me personally, I have both. I'm both nearsighted and have astigmatism, so that's nice because that makes it even harder to. Well, it makes glasses more expensive, basically, and also makes contact lenses harder to get. That's nice. Can't recommend anyone else to get that. Obviously, you don't have no choice whether you get it or not, but it's fucking awful. I hate it. I hope everyone who has good eyes and who doesn't need glasses is actually happy about those eyes. Like, appreciative of them. Please appreciate your eyes. I promise you they're good eyes. A whisper echoes through the quiet chapel. I know you need glasses. Words spoken out of guilt. They pierce the heart of every person there. They were tiny infant creatures, logically speaking.
お前は心配性だな。
I've had glasses ever since I was in 3rd grade, so I cannot imagine life without glasses.
動物もののテレビとかで見たことないのかよ。草食動物は敵に狙われやすいから、生後すぐ独り立ちするんだよ。そうじゃないと野生では生きられないんだ。わかる？
そうなのですか。
おうよ。世話してたんだから知ってたっての。高崎が首っ引きで飼育マニュアル読んでただろ。本好きとしては私も熟読したからな。
そうなんだ。
No, Erika's just diluting the actual story.
ああ、生後10日もすれば離乳もするし、
They're not
それ
with
に
the
飼
droid
育小屋の
up
近くは草もいっぱい生えてるだろ。今は夏場だから食い物には困らねえよ。
It's taking way longer to get to the
案外
point where she
狭い
actually
小屋暮らしよ
where
り
we actually come up with
の
the
びのびやっ
proper
てるか
thing
もしれな
though,
いぜ。
so I was not planning on
よかった
going for that long. The moment someone raises their voice, the heavy mood is dispelled by clouds breaking. The Sasaki sisters look at one another in relief, while the president clasps her hands together and mutters a prayer. Sister Basquiat also seems to be offering up a prayer, her eyes shut.
白羽。
I've been thinking it out, my bookworm body must have been deeply upset by the baby rabbit's
あ
disappearance.
りがとう。
They're faint, but I hear the words clearly. Feeling my face flush for some reason, I change the direction of my wheelchair. And my eyes meet those of my amitié partner, who's gazing at me in silence.
黙ってろ。
It looked like Eri drawing. She's never been able to pick up on social clues. At my words, she averts her gaze and looks up at the marcher on the cross. Ah, now the scene is over? Ooh. Ooh. That means... that means I can be super fucking mean. Oh, you'd like to know where the rabbits are, wouldn't... I know where the rabbits are. But that's gonna take quite a while longer to actually get to, so... Next time. I just saved it! Ah! You put them on a rocket. No, please. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay, I deserve that. Sure, I deserve that. For the cliffhanger I'm gonna force all of you to endure right now, I deserve that. But yeah, no, next time we're gonna clear up the actual thing. Erika just made it a little different for everyone else to accept the story, but there's some truth to where the rabbits actually are. We're gonna get to that. We're probably not gonna get to that on Sunday though. Like the entire, honestly, I think the entire weekend is probably gonna be spent with the SummerSlam stream. Short stream today. This is the normal stream time for during the week. We're actually already at half an hour overtime because I started late. But yeah, no, tomorrow we're gonna do more Neo Tweely, and then on Saturday it's gonna be my big SummerSlam stream for however long I can go with that, and that's definitely gonna go until Sunday, so I don't think I'll be doing a normal Sunday stream afterwards. So this game we're gonna continue next week on a Wednesday again. Next week is gonna be a Wednesday. Finally, we're gonna be back to a Wednesday stream, if only for that 1 week. Thank you for the pet. Thank you, and thank you for coming by. Saturday is gonna be interesting. It sure is. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm also a little scared, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, I hope everyone's gonna be able to tune in at least for a little bit for the SummerSlam fundraiser. They already reached their initial goal yesterday. Like the entire Gamers Outreach themselves, the entire organization. They were like, hey, you know, so that's gonna be nice. I wonder how much how much money we can get together overall. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, hopefully, for Neo 12. Wait. Let me press a few buttons. Put in my own song. Yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. Since I have the chance right now, I'm gonna send you guys over to Hess, who I've not been able to rate in quite a long time, I feel like. Hess is playing Fear and Hunger. I have no idea what that is. It looks interesting though. They reached 1/4 of the goal they won already. Yeah, yeah, that was wild. I'm interested in seeing how much we can reach. But the most important, another game I'd appreciate. Oh, great. Okay. Most importantly though, I wish all of you have a very nice evening. Thank you so much for coming by. It has a reputation. Okay. I see. Well, time to fuck around and find out. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by.
I'll see you very, very soon. Good night. And bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.